Oh, hey, I think we need a fireman.
I can't even
fire
see the
truck.
screen.
What's going on? I don't have my glasses on, and
Yeah.
everything's a big foggy blur right now. I feel like Han Solo on the skiff.
I can't
in
even
the
see
sand.
you. I don't even know
Everything's a
where I
big
am.
blur. Boo!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, sort of,
Yeah.
almost. Depending on where you are in the world, it could theoretically already be theoretically Halloween. But for us here on the East Coast of the United States, what just happened?
I'm sorry, the fog machine.
Oh, we're going to have another storm cloud coming in, folks. Oh, for crying out loud. Mary, Mother of Christ.
It's a dramatic effect.
I'll say it's dramatic. That's one word
Hey,
for
I want to
it.
congratulate you. Last year you screwed me on the costume thing, and this year I love the Ed Gein thing.
I went a little bit for an Ed Gein look. As I was putting it on, getting ready for the live event here, I realized no one on earth is going to say, there's Ed Gein. They're just going to say, that's just Christian wearing his normal clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not a hoodie, maybe, but I did put a little blood there, so, and a little on my cheek, too. I don't know if Ed Gein had a bloody cheek, but let's just say he did.
I can't see anything. I'm
And
going to switch now, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. I think we've done enough of the Halloween costumes. I'm just so frickin' excited to be here.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, listeners of the past, present, and future. This is the Haddonfield Radio 3rd Annual Halloween Party / live stream
There you are.
/ festival. I'm going to call it a festival now that we're 3 years in.
Are there food trucks coming?
There's going to be a food truck. There's going to be a juggler.
Yeah.
And a dickhead dressed as Ed Gein, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is always one of the highlights of the year. And we actually started Haddonfield Radio in October of 2022. So October is always sort of, to us, almost like the proverbial New Year.
Yeah, it's the anniversary of
right.
us starting this whole thing, right?
So this is our 3rd anniversary, 3 years.
Wow.
Almost 80 videos uploaded.
It's crazy.
30, how many episodes have had? 33 episodes of Haddonfield Radio.
34 will be next in our last. I can't believe we're like practically done with season 3. Oh my God.
I can't believe it was actually 6 months ago that we did our last live stream.
I know. Huh?
The halfway to 13 live stream, which was right in the middle of season 3, like the halfway point. That was 6 months ago.
Right.
We've got to make it a point to try to do more live streams and not wait another 6 months.
I agree. If you were, I want to say something really quick. Christian showed up like 5 minutes before the live stream started.
I barely made it.
So we're kind of like catching up as we see each other. I was actually going to bring that up to you earlier that as we go into season 4. I think we need to do more live streams.
Yeah,
definitely.
we definitely need to do more because I love getting a chance to go live, to touch base with you guys and see how everyone's doing and just chit-chat and have a lovely old time.
Seeing a lot of names.
Who's
yeah,
here?
I'm seeing a lot of names.
Because
I'm
almost 51, I can't see Dick. So.
No, that's why did you see I put the laptop.
There we go.
You can bring it closer to yourself if you need to, but
right off the bat, I'm
Look
seeing
at that.
Corey Bird. I'm seeing Mike Hatfield. I'm seeing Stephanie Hinkle. I don't think I recall that name in any previous live stream.
I was just gonna say, are you saying that like we know her or don't know her?
I don't think we know
Hello,
her
Stephanie.
by name.
Yes.
So I just want you to know, love you. Love you, love you, love you, and thank you for joining us. Who else do we have here today?
Of course we have
Spooky Halloween gal, of course.
And we have old Mike Hatfield. Hey, Mike sent me this awesome image right before we went on live today.
Oh.
He's like what I like to call an art factory.
Yeah, he really is.
Like he just cranks out pieces left and right.
Freaking prolific.
And he's there when we need him, and he's also like, "Hey, by the way, I just did this, and it's awesome. It's like a Haddonfield Radio record."
Yeah,
it was great.
Well,
anyway,
I love that. If you looked at the thumbnail for this live stream and you noticed the illustration of Michael Myers that accompanies it, of course that was done by Mike Hatfield for this live stream, and I think it's actually one of the most awesome
great.
illustrations of Michael because it really captures the cinematic lighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we're going to be talking about.
He reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, I did this piece. Do you guys have any use for it?" It's like, wow, yeah.
A little later on in the live stream, we're going to have one of our special guests, of course, an incredible artist, Nephew FXX, and he's going to be taking us through the process of kind of rehauling one of Joe's Michael Myers masks that you can kind of see right in the background right now. So he's going to come on and kind of talk us through his process. It's really fascinating stuff, and what he captures is that cinematic lighting on the physical mask. He has this ability to render that lighting onto the actual physicality of the mask.
It's sort of one of the tests for like when you're looking at Michael Myers mask, right? Is that dramatic lighting? Do the shadows drop on the face the same way as the movie one? And he did an amazing job. I can't even thank him enough. I see he's online, so hello.
I'm also seeing a Mac 888 Spectral. Of course. Hello, we love you. And
old timer.
Brockstar BR. Wow, I'm loving that. That sounds like a new name too. That's not a name I'm recognizing from our previous live stream, so welcome. If you've been watching before, I apologize, but if I'm not recognizing your handle, but if this is your first time on one of our lives, we love you and thank you.
Nightmare.
Oh, yes.
Another old friend.
Classic.
Yes.
Babylon Terminator 1. I love that handle.
We've talked to them before.
Familiar.
Yes, definitely.
Well, welcome anyway.
And Corey Bird. And hey, Corey, I don't know if you recognize the poster right here. That was from Mr. Corey Bird. Where
are we talking?
The Nightbreed poster right next to you there.
Right,
yes.
Of course, right next to me.
Yes, he sent me that and along with some wonderful Blu-rays and DVDs, and it's
very
great.
Generous young man.
I kind of forgot how wacky Nightbreed is. I watched it again when Corey sent me the stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
And like when you're watching it with adult eyes, I don't think I really had seen it in a long time. You're like, whoa.
It's
but
such
Cronenberg, oh my God, I could watch him all day. He's a great actor.
Okay, so Nightbreed, the version of it I grew up with was the regular theatrical edition. And it was a favorite of mine and our old friend Larry. We used to watch it all the time. And there was even this book that was sort of like an art book that came out that profiled all the different monster designs that were created for the movie, whether it was like, I think their names were like Shuna Sasi, Peliquin was one of them. And that book in particular made such an imprint on my consciousness when I was like a very young teenager. And I personally wish Clive Barker had directed more films because I love his work as a director, whether it was Lord of Illusions or the first Hellraiser or, of course, Nightbreed. And Nightbreed really got a beautiful sort of reissue within the last few years that kind of tightened up a few of the screws and maybe even added in some previously excised material.
Yeah, it's a director's cut.
Yeah, but all in all, even the theatrical cut with that Danny Elfman, there's a piece of Danny Elfman music within it. I think it was Mike Loduca, if I'm not, I could be wrong about that did most of the score, but there's like a Danny Elfman piece that is in Nightbreed that was on Danny Elfman's Music for a Darkened Theater CD. And I used to really love listening to that, but Nightbreed, man, that's, have you ever seen Lord of Illusions?
Yeah, again,
Scott Bakula.
Yes, again, very long time ago when it first came out. It's not, it's not one I've gone back to, but
it has one of my favorite lines from any movie of all time. The line, "I was born to murder the world." Love that.
Wow, your voice.
Thank you. Did you like that? I kind of, I've been a little sick. I wanted to say just right from the jump, I might sound a little froggy, a little hoarse. I've been a little under the weather the last few days, but I would never miss this. I came right across across from Massachusetts, Rhode Island, with bells on today.
This is Babylon Terminator. It's Nick Alfieri, of course.
Oh, Nick Alfieri is Babylon Terminator.
I was just telling Christian how you got me that wonderful popcorn bucket, the Michael Myers one over my shoulder. There we go.
The first thing I noticed when I walked in, even though I was substantially late to our broadcast today, I still took the time to notice that incredible Halloween 2 popcorn bucket. Now, you were saying that's been put back into theaters? Yeah,
it's one of the movies, that sometimes when it's seasonal, they'll put out movies again, right? And Halloween 2 is, again, this sort of re-release. That's why I believe it's on the Fanta sodas we were drinking previously and whatnot. And unfortunately, none of the theaters around me are showing it and giving out those popcorn buckets. And Nick was so kind enough to get me one of those, so I thank him very, very
that's
much.
Super, super generous. So appreciated, and it's Joe's, and I even appreciate it. I just want to say hello, Justin P. 173, listening all the way from the frickin' future.
I know, it's already Halloween. Happy Halloween!
He is in New Zealand, where it is already Halloween. It is literally the future as we speak. So perfect. And of course, Bryce Hart, Scary Bryce, one of our most faithful listeners, one of our oldest friends. We love you, and we're so happy to see you. There's actually a very nice turnout. This might be our biggest turnout we've ever had.
I'm also like, we got great listeners. I don't want to sound sappy here.
We do.
But I'm like, hey, this one gave me a poster. This one got me the bucket. This one redid my mask. Like, this is awesome.
We really can't put too fine of a point on that. Like, every YouTuber, every podcaster, they think they have the best audience or the best listeners or viewers. But unfortunately, they're all wrong, because we, in fact, do. And I mean that very sincerely. I've been shocked over the last 3 years. We've never had even a troll. We've never even had a dislike button hit on one of our episodes.
Now you did it.
Well, I'm just saying. Like, we have I've said it before.
Don't say it.
We have the most polite,
I know.
friendly, considerate, loving, wonderful audience of faithful listeners, and we are extremely lucky for that. And that is the sole reason why Joe and I created and continue to create episodes of Haddonfield Radio, just to reach out to you guys, all you wonderful people out there all over the world now, which is really still hard for me to get my head around. But wherever you are listening to this, even if you don't want to chime in the chat, I hope you know we love you, we appreciate you, and you're always down here in the basement with us, just like right now. Am I right?
You're right.
Who else we got here? Cool username USA says hello. Passion of the Mics 01. Absolutely old friend, faithful listener. We love you guys. I hope you guys have been enjoying or have enjoyed season 3, the Friday the 13th franchise season. I still can't believe we are about to release the season finale.
I know. Yep. One more to go.
Weeks.
Yep. It's crazy. We went a little nutty with our long format. I like that. I like the way, I think it was Davey Deathray called our show like a long format commentary, which I think is great.
Oh, it's a long format.
you buckle up when you're for this third season. We definitely went for it.
I think the Jason Takes Manhattan episode is our longest episode of all time.
Was it that one?
3 hours and 45 minutes.
Well, listen, you can almost treat every episode like 2 parts, right? You can sit down and you can enjoy our intro leading up to the watching of the movie, and then pause, take a break, come back a couple days later, whatever you got to do.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you can watch like the second half too. Or I don't know, maybe it is fun to just hunker down for 3 to 4 hours and listen to the show. But either way, thank you guys.
I always think about the way that I consume podcasts. And generally speaking, a lot of conversational podcasting tends to be over 2 hours, because it takes a little bit of time, as we all know, to sort of get into the rhythms of a conversation, and so I think it works at 3 hours. It feels natural, and so as long as it continues to feel natural and you guys like it that way, we'll continue doing it that way. It actually is very hard. It's interesting that Joe and I always seem to note when we finish recording each episode, we always say there were things that we didn't get in. So even at 3 hours or 3 hours plus, we still usually have information that just doesn't end up getting in. So that just goes to show you, we try to, maximize every minute and fill it with something interesting, at least hopefully.
Yeah.
But you guys have really, honestly, to say you guys have turned out in force for us this season is a dramatic understatement. Let me just say this real quick, and I don't say this out of any ego or any vanity, I promise you. But when we did the second annual Halloween live stream exactly 1 year ago, we had, I think, just about 1,500 subscribers. And we were over the moon about that. Make no mistake. We were so proud of that and continue to be so proud of that.
Yeah.
Here we are 1 year later, and we are nearing 90,000 subscribers.
Well, it was something about season 3 and the content, and we were doing some of those short ads.
Yeah.
I was really starting to play around with the idea of making ads for the episodes.
Yep.
it just sort of took off, and it just kept kind of snowballing. And most of the episodes have hit, a couple haven't. We would definitely went through the ups and downs of figuring out the YouTube partnership deals
there,
and
there was
things.
a lot going on
And
behind the scenes
there was,
this season.
when you got those numbers, they start talking to you more. And we tried some things, but we're back to like we know what's going on. We know what we want to do with the channel. Everything's is going great. We're still getting our views and our wonderful listeners.
All I ever care about when I lay my head down on the pillow every night, all I ever care about is that I don't care if there's 4 people listening. I just want to make sure those 4 people enjoyed the episode and enjoy the season and enjoy the show. If what we're doing is comforting to you or makes you feel happy or brings some kind of just peace into your life and happiness into your life in this very conflicted and confusing and uncomfortable world, then that is literally our mission statement, and that would mean that we would feel successful in that. I mean, quite frankly, even if we had 5 million subscribers, if they weren't having a great time or feeling comforted or feeling a part of it, a part of this show and a part of this community, then it wouldn't be successful to either of us. So it really is nothing to do with, look at we have almost 90,000. Oh, look at me. What a big shot. No, it's just about broadening out this wonderful community of listeners that enjoy the same movies that we enjoy and that are passionate about the same art that we're passionate about, and just reaching out to you guys and creating this a wonderful loop that you guys can reach back to us. And I just love it. It's really, this year has really changed my perception of reality, quite frankly, in many ways. And
Christian lives inside the episodes now.
I
those intros,
do.
that's because he's living inside those stories. And I still the Viking intro is still like my favorite.
Yeah, those were fun. That was
a good one.
That was fun to
research. They're all great. Those, I feel like I keep wondering to myself if I could string all the intros together into some one long, real long story. Maybe. It'd be like Christian on tape, books on tape,
There's 2 things I want to say about the intros real quick, just because it got brought up.
Okay.
A lot of times, because you guys are listening to the episode and you hear my voice exclusively, essentially performing the stories, you may assume, oh, it's Christian's intro. But the reality is, it's totally a 50-50 thing. Every bit of the production you hear that brings my words to life is Joe. All the music, the sounds, the movie of the mind aspects that accompany the words, that literally bring the words to life in incredibly cinematic and immersive ways, that's Joe's voice. It may not be Joe's speaking voice, but that's Joe's creative voice that's accompanying my words. That's just how we work. And there was a long time in the old days where it was basically exclusively me talking and Joe doing the production. And over time, we've just sort of met in the middle in a lot of ways, but we still sort of have our 2 sort of jobs. He does his job, I do my job, and we meet in the middle.
Do you remember on our old original radio show, you gave me a title? The minister of all things electronic.
Yeah, that's right.
Electronically motivated.
That's right, yes.
There was 2. And I was the harbinger of the noble 6-string playing garbage.
Oh, I love that too. Wow, that's escaped my memory, but I'm glad you've reminded me of that.
Oh, yeah, well, you've had some good ones.
But yeah, and also,
anyway, yeah.
And the other quick thing I just wanted to quickly say, I know there are some people out there that aren't crazy about the merging of sort of like true crime with fictional horror. And bringing in some of these true crime elements into these episodes were important to me because, in fact, they're part of the lore of the Friday the 13th films. The Peter Moore story, what was the name of, I can't think of the killer in the 8th episode. I'm blanking on his name. That's crazy. I
do the sound effects, bro.
Well, anyway, all those stories, like the killer that was wearing the hockey mask when he murdered his classmate. Yeah. Well, these are true stories that are connected to the mythos in the lore of the Friday the 13th movies, just like in the 4th episode, we talk about Finland and we talk about that massacre, and that's also part of it and part of the inspirations. And so I just wanted to kind of collect those true crime stories and sort of bring them together into one place. But I do understand if some people aren't crazy about that merging. I've actually heard some people kind of
Well,
addressing that.
the great thing about our episodes is then you can just go
You
to
can
the
just
middle
that's what I was going to
and
say.
start with the movie if you have any interest in what we have to say.
What's interesting on Spotify, if you listen to the episodes on Spotify, they actually the AI over there creates actually very creative chapter headings. So if you're someone, say you don't like the opening story section, you could just jump right forward to when Joe comes in. I promise you that will not hurt my feelings. I am passionate about those intro stories, but I can understand why other people might not like that.
It's just it was a unique aspect to this season, and you know, we've always had our little bit of an intro on our episodes, but it's just something we did.
I just think when you're creating something on a continuum across time, I just think it is so intrinsically, integrally important to challenge the material you're creating at all times.
Well,
You
yeah.
always want to be adapting. You always want to be growing, evolving.
Well, yeah, it's a way of not just, you know, buying the same loaf of bread every week at the store, but without also giving up, you know, what you do like about the loaf of bread. You know, we're keeping our movie review commentary aspect, and we try to enhance it with other stuff. And you know, hey, get ready for season 4. You know, that's going to be coming up probably right after the new year, and so. You know, after a small break, and we'll be doing some bonus episodes and everything else.
It was Mark Branch. I had to look it up.
Mark Branch. I was over here like, is Christian making a call right now?
No. You know what it is? I when I'm not feeling good, my brain gets scattered.
Yeah.
And so in episode 8, the Jason Takes Manhattan, I tell that story of Mark Branch, who literally took on the persona of Jason to commit a murder. I found that fascinating. I also think there are some fans that honestly don't want to really see these movies that they love as potentially having inspired real life violence. But I'm very much of the mind that somebody that's demented is going to be inspired by something regardless of what it is. I personally don't think video games or movies create murderers. I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that. Now, maybe that's a self-insulating principle because I'm involved in the kind of a nostalgia of horror here on this show with you. And is that something that's, you know, that I have to make sense of in my mind? Well, of course. But I just don't feel that connection is real. And I think it's just horror and video games, of comic books, they've always been a scapegoat. That's what it is. And and I think dark things, you got to drag them into the light. So I love true crime. I'm very passionate about like serial criminal pathology, all of that. When I watch YouTube, a lot of what I watch is a lot of this. I think the greatest of all true crime of all time is on YouTube. Some YouTubers, I think, are the goats of true crime right now.
It's a very popular thing. I know it's on
like
constantly in my house.
Explore With Us, that YouTube channel. Yeah. They are, in my opinion, are one of the. They're like at like 48 vintage 48 hours episodes.
I really don't listen to any of those. It's weird for what we do here. I don't listen to many
like podcasts
or any of that
you've
stuff.
Said that, yeah.
There's a few. And our guest tonight is somebody I've kind of grown to really like to listen to. We're going to be talking to Davey Deathray later on.
That's going to be so much fun.
He's great because you know what? He's so on the like pulse of like what's current, and he's seeing every new thing right away. And he's like my you know, canary in the coal mine.
Yes.
I wait to kind of see what his feelings are and whether or not I should then be rushing out on my own because I generally value his opinion. I definitely don't always agree on everything in terms of movie, just opinions.
Of course.
But I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. I just sometimes I have different opinions.
You know what?
But I love listening to the way he breaks down.
Just in case
his opinions on movies. They're clear and concise.
Who Joe's speaking of.
Yeah.
Around 9:30 tonight, we're going to have another special guest, Davey Deathray. I'm a huge fan of Davey as a YouTuber. Some people just were born to be in front of a camera or born to be in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
Some people they just have this natural charisma in front of the camera. And Davey's ambassadorship of the horror genre, Davey's ambassadorship as a YouTuber,
it's just pure love. He loves horror.
Pure love and pure passion.
He really does.
It comes from a place of pure love. By the way, speaking of pure love,
We're gonna get that sponsorship one way or the other.
3 episodes now in a row.
Yeah.
I'd just like to mention. Here at Haddonfield Radio, we drink serial mass murderer sodas, like my Chucky fruit punch. And what are you drinking?
I'm the same thing today.
You couldn't have picked a different one?
I had mine open before you.
No, I
before
didn't.
you even got here.
I heard that open.
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, I'm gonna have
when
to
you're
open...
late. When you're hold on. I'm just. No, I'm calling a foul.
Well, either way, I just want to say, when I'm in the mind for traumatizing children as a murderous doll, I think very much of Fanta fruit punch. Just wanted to get that in. We gotta pay mind to our corporate overlords here at Haddonfield Radio. Fanta, for the serial mass murderer in you. Now let's have a sip.
Wow.
It doesn't get any less delicious.
So we're gonna be, like we said, talking to Davey Death Ray coming up, but we have some
a bunch of things.
We have some new movies to talk about. Of course, big things dropped today, but
well, I've got the perfect segue into movies.
Let's do it.
One of the comments I saw, somebody was asking us what we thought of the Netflix, the Ryan Murphy, the 3rd season of Monster that covered Ed Gein. Did you watch any of it with Charlie Hunnam?
I didn't because everyone I knew that watched it said it wasn't that great. Didn't like it.
It wasn't my favorite season of Monster, or Monsters, if you go by the Menendez brothers title. My favorite of Ryan Murphy's 3 seasons is definitely the Dahmer one. I think that Dahmer season is nearly unimpeachable in terms of what it is and the way Ryan Murphy as an artist presents stories. There's a certain kind of flamboyance that Ryan Murphy brings to his subject matters. And the more kind of grisly or arcane the subject matter, it's almost like the more wild he gets with his approach.
Yeah.
And there were elements of the Ed Gein season that is now airing that I thought kind of ebbed or leaned maybe just a little bit too far into that flamboyance.
That's what I kept hearing, that with a story that's already, like, doesn't really need embellishing.
Right.
That he embellished a little too much.
And, you know, it's one of these really fascinating things because if you are the type of person that when you're watching an actor take on the role of someone who lived in real life, right? You might be the type of person that really wants to scrutinize their level of detail. Yeah. And yet, Charlie Hunnam went a completely different route, and he kind of created this very strange, kind of reedy voice for Ed Gein that if you listen to the very rare, very few actual recordings of Ed Gein's voice, didn't really sound anything like that. Like Charlie Hunnam did a sort of voice like, "Mother, yeah, okay, mother, I'm searching for my mother," you know. But Ed Gein had just much more of that Midwestern kind of older man voice. But the point I'm trying to make is, as an actor, as an artist, I absolutely admired everything Charlie Hunnam brought to that characterization. And for me, I thought Charlie Hunnam actually eclipsed the performance. I'm trying to think of the actor that played Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm sort of having a brain freeze here. But I thought that Charlie Hunnam's performance was the star of that series in my mind. Yeah. And I really like Charlie Hunnam. I was a real big fan of Sons of Anarchy, like I'm sure a lot of you guys were as well, during that golden age period of television in the aughts into the 2010s, coming out of the 90s. And I've always kept my eye on Charlie Hunnam, and I think if you challenge him with material, he'll rise to the occasion. He can also play that standard kind of hunky leading man, but if you offer him something to really dig his teeth in, he's a really talented character actor as well.
And sometimes you can't always blame the actor for maybe any liberties taking with their characters sometimes when their directors are also directing them certain ways. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Their job is to really bring the director's vision to life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not, it may
Evan
be,
Peters. Thank you so much.
yes,
Jamie Hart.
yes.
Evan
The
Peters.
whole time I'm sitting there going, is the
I
kid who
know,
played
it's driving me
Quicksilver?
crazy.
It was Quicksilver. It was
I'm usually really good at that,
Yeah.
like recall. I'm not
It's
trying to pat myself on the
No,
back.
you are.
But
you
I
are.
will
I'll
say,
give you that.
I'm usually pretty
'Cause
adept
I'm really
at that.
bad. I'm really
but
bad.
I'm a little spacey. I had a long day. I was worried about being late. I was panicking in the Uber, panicking on
You
the
were
train.
late.
I was literally
I was
in the
like,
Uber.
well, I guess I'm going solo tonight.
You know, there are two kinds of Uber passengers.
Yeah.
You're either the chatterbox
Yeah.
or you're the dead silent who stares at their phone. I will admit, most of the time I choose to be the dead silent because I don't want to put that onto unless the driver really wants to chat.
Yeah.
I'd rather just sit in silence. But I was so anxious that I was going to be late that I was like a total chatterbox in the lift. And this poor woman had like a very thick, what to me sounded almost like a Caribbean accent. And she was trying to keep up with my so I was like, I'm probably frightening this woman. Let me just start staring at my phone.
Oh boy.
But I wasn't dressed as Ed Gein in the lift. I got into this when I got here.
Yeah, good.
So anyway,
Good.
threw
Yeah.
all the blood on me once I got here. I didn't do that to the Lyft driver. But I'm reading some of the comments, and a lot
Yeah.
of people that are commenting seem to sort of agree with the general
Yeah,
sense
it wasn't.
that it didn't really meet the expectation. But I've been watching and noticing it has really stayed in that Netflix top 10 a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
I mean, yeah, everyone does seem to also be watching it, as much as
I'm
they may
sure.
not like it. The opinions I've been hearing but everyone's watching it. It's definitely the thing right now, right?
Interestingly enough, when Netflix courted Ryan Murphy over, I think they paid him something like $300 million to create material exclusively for that streamer. And so they want to get that material, get the most bang for their buck they can get. But again, going back to that, when I was talking about that kind of creative flamboyance he brings to his stories, that does attract eyeballs. And it creates kind of water cooler moments. Like when you see Ed Gein in the show, like enacting Leatherface's chainsaw or enacting Norman Bates' behavior.
I think
Buffalo Bill.
The majority of the people, their audience, their demographic, are not necessarily film buffs. And if something's entertaining, and people don't have the story down in their head, it's going to be very entertaining for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't worry about historical accuracies. You know, I mean, as much as I love him as a filmmaker, but look at Oliver Stone's films. As much as he's always tackling historical subjects, he definitely does not play it by the book. You know what I mean?
Well, I gotta say, that brings me to a very important point. Even going back to when we were just talking about our own like introductory stories, I think Oliver Stone is actually an incredible example because Oliver Stone, when he's tackling history, he's not a documentarian. He's not a journalist. What he specifically is, even going back to the Greeks in terms of storytelling tradition, is Oliver Stone is a dramatist. And he takes great pride and great creative pride in dramatizing history to sort of incorporate his own subjective perspective on the events.
He says a lot that, you know, sometimes he does the things that people complain about or will say, well, this wasn't quite right. And he's done that on purpose just so that people go home and go do the research then and go say, well, was that right?
That's
I didn't think that he wants them to go ask questions and learn and say, all right, no, I was right. Even if they think Oliver Stone was wrong, he still feels accomplished if they've gone home and thought more about whatever, you know. And sometimes that's all filmmakers want. They want that experience, connection with the audience to something to happen. See, even if they hate it.
Jamie Hart just said, or Tarantino. He literally alters history, and I kind of love it. While I agree with that sentiment, I would nominally disagree. What Tarantino has done is he's created a completely alternate history in which he's the omniscient figure. He's the god of another version of history.
Right.
And so he can color the events of that version of history any way he wants. Yeah. It's not that I think he's trying to transmogrify history for creative appeal or to kind of engender conversation. I think he just sees the way he's writing in the world of his movies as his own history.
Yeah, it's
his
like
own
a what if.
Right.
You know?
But when I was like writing some of these intros this season, I was very much thinking of Oliver Stone because I think he's one of the greatest ever at creating commentaries for his movies. He is
Oh,
one of the
God.
greatest film commentary creators that I think of any director ever. He's in like the top 5 in my opinion.
I'm not trying to name drop, but the work I do with Scream Factory, I'm on my 7th Oliver Stone film.
Yeah, you've been working
And
with
I've
him.
had a lot of very indirect work where he's literally judging my pieces.
Yep.
And I have never experienced, doing this type of work, a director at his level that is so involved with like the minutia of like the extras on like the 6th re-release of one of his movies. He still wants to make sure the font color. I'm doing Any Given Sunday. He just said like the font color was wrong on, he didn't want it.
I said,
and
God
like that's
bless
great.
him.
No,
God bless him
that's
for
what
that.
makes it. I mean, I very much disagree with a lot of some of his choices in a lot of his films, but I admire him as a filmmaker to the nth degree because his handle on filmmaking is like a master, like none other.
Yeah, he's one of my all-time.
Now you can
greatest
say
heroes
choices
in
about
filmmaking.
characterizations or stories is another thing, and he's a great writer. I mean, he wrote Conan the Barbarian in his early days. That's one of my all-time favorites. Like, come on.
Some people actually consider Oliver Stone to actually be a better screenwriter than he ever was a director.
I think his first movie was a horror movie. It's called The Hand.
Yeah, yep. And then he wrote Scarface. He did a lot, actually. And then he did a lot of script doctoring on a lot of really huge movies of that era.
And it's amazing because he wrote these scripts like a Conan, right? That is so different than what he would make himself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not a movie you would never imagine him tackling
Oliver
that
Stone's
version of Conan anyway.
Actually, Oliver Stone's original screenplay of Conan the Barbarian that John Milius ultimately directed. Originally, Stone was going to potentially direct it, but his original screenplay would have cost at that time in like the late 70s like $200 million.
So they had to like tone it way down.
They had to tone it
still
down.
give him the story
and what
credit.
Milius was able to do, which was right in his wheelhouse, was to come in and strip down Oliver Stone's script down to its mythic elements.
Yeah.
And once he did that, and Milius was such a Conan obsessive and a Robert E. Howard obsessive, and so when he was able to sort of whittle Oliver Stone's screenplay down to a different kind of a sculptural shape, it became a literal classic film.
That's great.
That
It's
launched
so good.
Schwarzenegger, launched. It was incredible. It's obviously one of the greatest genre films of that era, probably of any era. I notice a lot of the commenters in chat are now moving on to talk about, of course, It Welcome to Derry, the It sort of prequel/sequel/reskin series that kind of follows the 2 Andy and Barbara Muschietti It films.
Yes.
Have you seen the 2 movies?
Yes,
Chapter 1 and
the
Chapter
films,
2? Yeah.
yes. Yep. I have not watched the show.
All I'm going to say is I watched the episode, but I was very cynical going into it, even though I really enjoyed at least the first movie. The second movie, I think Muschietti should have done it as 3 movies. The first movie is the children's story. The second movie is the adult story. And the third movie is the Ritual of Chud, where the 2 timelines merge together to defeat Bob Gray, to defeat Pennywise, okay? If they had stretched it out, I think it would have been the Lord of the Rings of horror. I really mean that. I think what happened, in my opinion, is the second movie tries to condense and compact so much crucial information in the adult period. And it's sort of...
Well, was the first movie, did it do well financially?
It was a blockbuster.
Right?
It made like almost $800 million.
Maybe they were going to do 3, but had to pull back if it did. But
no, it was a blockbuster.
That's weird. Again, I did extras for their movie Mama. And a lot of the people I was talking to were brought up that they're working on the TV series like currently.
What I want to say, maybe some people haven't seen the series premiere of It Welcome to Derry, but as soon as I was about 15 minutes into it, I was like, okay, it's a reskin. It's a reskin. But without giving away any spoilers, when the episode concluded, I was very impressed.
Hooked? All right. Well, I'll have to check
Excuse
it
me,
out.
guys. I'm so sorry about my froggy throat. I was very impressed. And it really left me wondering what the rest of this season was going to be. And I love that HBO does this thing. They'll do a pilot episode, and then at the end of the pilot episode, they don't just give you a preview of the next episode. They get a preview called The Weeks to Come. And it's sort of a long-form preview that covers like at least the next 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And there's some imagery in that looks really, really fascinating. So I'm going to be watching. Whether I'm going to love it or dislike it, I don't know, but I think it's off to a very good start.
All right,
Although
all right.
it does, the series premiere does sort of lean into some of Andy Muschietti's lesser kind of habits, like too much CG. Like, I don't find CG monsters to be frightening.
I know.
If I can detect that is CG, something of the thrill or something of the impact of the fright kind of just dissipates for me. And I'm not a hater of CG.
That was my problem with Mama, although I kind of liked it, and they do a lot of creepy things with the Mama character when they're first kind of giving you the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And she's more in the shadows. Very creepy. Scares, hairs sticking up. But by the end, when we've spent more time with the fully lit and you see the full CG-ness and it's floating out, you're kind of like, it loses the creepiness. Even though a lot of it was an actor in there, and you know, he's like a Doug Jones type guy, but you know, when you sense the CG, it's just not as scary sometimes. Sometimes.
Get the Art the Clown horn ready, because I'm going to throw out my first hot take of the night.
Oh boy.
Which I just lost my freaking train of thought.
Oh boy.
And that's the best
There
hot
we go.
take.
There we
Christian's
go.
lost his train. No,
Anyway.
Andy Muschietti. Oh yes, I remember what it is. My
Yes.
first hot take of the night. I think Andy Muschietti's best film so far as a director is actually The Flash. A movie that the world took a shit on.
I finally watched it.
You did?
I did, yeah.
What did you think?
I found it entertaining.
Yeah.
Again, if you know,
I don't like Ezra Miller.
No, I do not exactly.
As a performer.
Exactly.
And honestly, it has nothing
to do with... He does get a
with...
little after a while, like...
To me, it doesn't really have anything to do with all his extracurricular kind of controversies. Just as a performer, I don't find him
And of course,
to be...
they give you 2 of him.
Right.
For most of the movie,
but
right?
In that movie, with that doubling, I thought that doubling was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a really great job of creating 2 characters that you could clearly tell apart.
I want to say, like the film nerd in me wants to be like, we didn't need more Michael Keaton Batman. They shouldn't have done, but man, I ate every second of it up. It really makes me want to see the Batgirl movie that got canceled.
Yeah,
that he did
really,
you know,
that's
just
really
to see
weird.
Michael Keaton
because
stuff. You know,
Michael Keaton's performance in Andy Muschietti's Flash movie, like Joe was just saying, absolutely steals the movie.
Yeah. Oh, you're just waiting for it.
And you know what really impressed me?
I didn't mind the Supergirl. Or Superwoman.
Sarah Callie? No,
or
I didn't either.
Or how, yeah.
No, she was great. I would have seen a whole movie with that character.
I wish they had more of her.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Very charismatic performer.
For what the storyline they were presenting.
Some of the some of the CG in the Flash, like the Nicolas Cage Superman, even the Christopher Reeves in the Helen Slater Supergirl, was really and Muschietti tried to backpedal and make it seem like it was intentionally
right, comic bookized a little bit. Yeah,
but
I know.
I don't think so.
I know.
I don't think that's true.
The other problem with the movie for me was it was very predictable that creature thing that was attacking him while
was basically
him
reverse
himself.
Flash.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
Anyway,
but
let's move
you know
on.
what I was going to say? The thing that's so great about Keaton in that movie that I found really impressive, I wasn't even blown away by the nostalgia appeal of it. I thought the characterization that he presented, the screenplay presented, and the way it's put in the movie is really, really good and really captivating. It made me almost say, man, I could use like a Michael Keaton Batman movie now.
Sure.
Like I could use a late era, like Dark Knight Returns era Michael Keaton Batman movie, like Old Man Batman. I would watch that movie. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Robin still a little bit in the prime kicking ass? No.
What do we say? HB3 Electric. Tinfoil hat time. With the new 4K box set for the Nightmare on Elm Street films, a lot of social media / interviews with the previous filmmakers and Robert Englund getting a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's
should talk
really
about
awesome.
That. Robert's getting it tomorrow. I believe on Halloween they're doing it.
It's tomorrow?
Yeah, I know they were prepping the star this week or the last couple of days, and he deserves it. And what's great is I think I read, sometimes there's a lot of stuff out there, But I believe I read that John Carpenter was also up for a star, and he like kind of gave the spot to England to have on Halloween and have like have a big moment and everything. So I thought that was cool.
I've been developing again some issues with Carpenter. Did you see the movie The Substance with Demi Moore?
No.
She was nominated
Did
for
he
an
have
Oscar.
something to do with that?
Well, no, but Coralie Farragut, who directed that movie to the point where she was even nominated for an Oscar for Best Director, she really, throughout that whole press tour of that movie. Now, I liked that movie, The Substance. I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed the performances. I liked her directing. And I'm curious to see more of her as an artist going forward. But all through that press tour, she took so much time to consistently publicly credit John Carpenter and David Cronenberg. She mentioned those two names more than any other thing you can think of in that entire press tour. And finally, now that the movie's kind of come and established itself in the the zeitgeist and the public consciousness, somebody asked John Carpenter, "Well, have you had a chance to see The Substance?" And he basically said, "Oh, it's a piece of shit." Like, I thought it was terrible. Now, he has every right to his opinion. But if you know there's an up-and-coming director who's getting her foothold or her foot in the door and getting her place, and she spent all this time tributing you, do you need to be so pessimistic?
crass.
Like for me, the crotchety thing is getting a little old.
Yeah, I mean,
the funny crotchety John Carpenter thing
I
is
don't
getting
know
a
if
little
it's a
old.
thing. That's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, when you see stuff like that, I mean, it's just him, right? It's just him.
It's not appealing.
I know.
It's
I know.
not. I'm glad that he's spending a lot of time in his own living room because
he was a master in the day, and he's his time is.
Well, how about this? How about every time someone puts a microphone in your face and you talk about how movies have sucked the last 30 years, there's no good filmmakers, there's no good films. How about go out and do something about it?
Didn't he just announce he's doing something, producing something or
Maybe.
directing something?
I hope so.
Some
you know
sort
what?
of a show or something. Maybe one of the listeners knows. But I thought he just announced that he was doing something.
If you are a legendary filmmaker, I think you do bear some responsibility to be an ambassador of film. And that doesn't mean you have to sugarcoat your opinions or falsify who you are to appease other people. But I do think there's a time and a place. And if you're going to marginalize somebody's art, at least be constructive about it. Like if you're going to marginalize a film and you are an established, if not iconic filmmaker, have a little class.
Yeah.
You could say,
well, I don't think class and John Carpenter have ever been in the same sentence.
You could say, the movie didn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I can see why it worked for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my speed. You don't have to say piece of shit. And then when you got to look this up if you don't believe me. It just happened like within the last week.
Yeah.
And again, I will always love John Carpenter. Guys, don't get me wrong. Forever, when I'm dead, I'll still love John Carpenter. That's never going to change. He will always have a place in my heart, always. But come on, man. Like, why don't instead of complaining, why don't you do something? Why don't you bring something? If you can see a way to make things better and you're still on two legs and still kicking and thinking clearly, why don't you do something and show what you think films should be or what directing should be again? Why don't, as the elder statesman of your craft, one of them, why don't you come out and do something? Put your money where your effing mouth is instead of just bitching. Am I crazy?
Somebody said Carpenter's been grumpy since 1982. Yeah, they're right.
It's true.
And apparently we got a lot of people hooked on Fanta.
Well, that's good. We got a bunch of Fanta addicts.
Well, I've gone overboard. I fell in love with the Chucky Punch, and then like I went there the other day, and it was like buy one pack and you get 3 free. And I got a whole little fridge full of Fantas now over here.
I will say, Fanta.
Sugar
56
overdose.
grams of sugar per can.
It's bad.
Per can.
It's bad.
Now,
I know.
I'm like a frickin' fly. Anybody that frickin' knows me, like personally knows that I am literally a person who basically lives on sugar.
Oh, God, you and candy and stuff.
Like
It's
at 51, like getting towards 51, like I'm always like spending half of my day saying I've got to change. I got to get myself on a better. And the other half like sweet tarts.
Yeah.
You know what it is lately? These literal Swedish fish from Sweden.
Oh, boy.
They're super expensive. I'm so obsessed with them. I think they're called Malmi. They're delightful. I like taking gummies and putting them in the freezer.
Oh boy,
You
what
ever
have we
put gummy
started?
bears in the freezer?
No.
Good Christ. You know
No.
what I like to do? When I have a long day of work, I come home at night, I crack me a, a serial mass murderer soda. I pour it in me cup. I drop some ice cold gummy bears in it as ice cubes, and I sip. Delightful. And then I wonder why I'm still up at 3:40 in the morning.
Hey, and then over here I got.
Oh yes,
So
let's look at this.
not that I am into this at all, but I got these because of course I had to check it out and everything. They're all wet now, but these are the new Jason universe. There's the camera.
The Angry Orchard.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I saw some of the chat. At least one person in chat saying, you know, the Angry Orchard Jason thing didn't do much for them. That thing did not move my needle 1 degree.
Well, I'm still like I still want to know what is up with the girl. What are they? Why are they? I'm almost like I could care less about all the Jason stuff because like yeah, it's not great. And I love Nicotero's like I'm surprised at the backlash over that mask design. Like really?
Yeah,
Really?
I wasn't against the mask.
Really?
I'm probably the only person in the entire horror community around the world that I wasn't so bothered by Nicotero's redesign of the mask. I think the chevron, especially on top, is way too long. It looks like he's got angry eyebrows, and maybe that was part of the design. I don't know. But
It looks too designed to me. That's the
Ooh,
thing.
Now that is a really good point.
It looks like it's a costume, like somebody bought a costume to put on. You know,
No, you're right.
like
I see
someone designed a hockey mask based on a description with never ever have seen one before. You know,
It's nothing against the actor that portrayed Jason in the short, but okay, here's the way I was thinking about it earlier. Over the year, I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who since I was a child, okay? Of course, there have been so many doctors over the years, right? Some people love more than others. For me, all I have to do is just look at the eyes. Oh, no, that's the doctor. Like a lot of people didn't like Jodie Whittaker, but I said, no, that's the doctor. You may not like it, but that's the doctor. No, Ncuti Gatwa, who was the most recent, I don't see the doctor behind those eyes. But like David Tennant or any of them, I immediately see the doctor.
yeah, sure.
As long as the doctor is present in the actor portraying him or her or it or them or they, whatever you want to call the doctor, that magic will be there in the performance. I never really saw Jason in that Jason.
No.
To me, that doesn't feel like Jason. It doesn't have the intensity of Jason. It doesn't have the feeling of Jason.
You didn't feel like a guy off like the grid living in the woods or supernatural or anything. He just felt like a guy wearing like just some kind of beat up clothes and a very like a superhero-y hockey mask. Like you know.
And you know, I also think perhaps some of the design actually may have been kind of pushed towards the idea that this is pure marketing.
Yeah.
It isn't really a creative artistic movie.
Well, so that's the big question. Is this Jason that may show up in a film? Is this Jason, or is this just
like, in other words, have
Jason
they told this actor, like, when we make a film, if and when, you will be Jason?
I don't even know about the actor, but the design or anything we're seeing within this angle.
Oh, I think this is Jason.
Like, is this what, if they were going to go make a movie right now?
That's my feeling.
This is the look of him?
I think that's what they're going for, yeah. I do. And now, I could be wrong. I don't know the details, so maybe you guys know. You probably know more than I do. But I think this is the redesign for. I think originally they might have been called Horror Inc. in the old days, and I think now they might be called Terror Inc. But the rights holders,
right? Yeah.
But it's it's basically the Barsamians,
right? So now the question is, so what's going on with the Crystal Lake series? Are the rights holders that is the writer? Why can't Victor Miller? And because he won the rights, so he's shepherding that. So are these two different? Is this like the old Paramount versus New Line thing, where
I don't know,
where these guys get to go make a show, but they can't call it Friday the 13th because they don't have the rights, but they have the rights to their characters because it's Victor Miller.
There is a Jason that is in that television series, isn't there?
Well, that's Victor Miller's character. I'd imagine he can use it. See, no matter what, I would think.
If you guys have been following season 3, we've covered this notion so much in the episodes. it's sad how freaking confusing.
I know. And I know we're going to have to bring this up with Davey because Davey's way on top of this stuff, I think, more than us.
Yeah, he is.
I know that they just finished recently shooting the Crystal Lake TV series. It's a wrap for the, I don't know, I guess it's a season. I don't know if they're doing more, if it's a one-shot deal of a few episodes.
Okay.
I'm very curious. Obviously, I'm not expecting great things, but I, of course, want to see what.
We just
something new Friday 13th related.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like let's see.
And we just talked about the IP extension of it onto television. The Friday the 13th and Crystal Lake coming to television. These things can work. I was going to bring up look at Alien Earth.
And look at the whole history of the franchise. Like that's what everyone has to remember. Like Jason has reinvented himself a few times throughout that main run.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go into it like, nah, but what I'm seeing is making me a little, nah.
It just didn't move my needle.
Hopefully they can either do something really good with the Crystal Lake series, and that'll be, sort of satisfying.
Yep.
Or maybe eventually this other Jason universe thing turns into something better. I don't know.
Hey,
hopefully.
Everything can also be a stepping stone, a trial and error process. I wouldn't be shocked if the idea of partnering with Angry Orchard to do this type of a commercial was also a way to sort of test the concepts on the fans in a way where you don't have $50 million riding on it in a movie.
Oh, I'm sure this is definitely a part of slowly putting some feelers out, tying it in with a product. And,
tweak it.
Yeah. I mean, they're making money off of it. Angry Orchard, they're paying for the rights to use, their imagery. So they might as well let them try, and then they get to take the hit. They didn't have to invest in a whole movie, and to see what people are feeling. I did like the boat motor kill.
Oh no, there was some good.
I will say
moments.
That was a great kill.
Yeah,
but.
Now, I wanted to bring up Alien Earth. I was mentioning.
Oh, yeah, you want to get that. Sorry. Yep.
I don't know if you guys have had the chance. It aired on Hulu. I think it was 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when the ads for Alien Earth were airing, as I am a massive fan of the Alien franchise, not only do I love the movies and all that, I also collect, the comic book history of the Alien franchise. The novelization history through Titan Books of the Alien franchise. And something that has always been so standout to me with the Alien franchise is they've been really, really smart about the way they've evolved that IP over the decades. Even with Alien Romulus in the movie theater was sort of a perfect distillation of everything that came before with adding a little bit of new ideas without really shaking the tree too much.
Yeah.
And then Alien Earth comes out on TV, which I assumed would be more like that, and was completely crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the Alien Romulus was sort of like them saying, like, hey, look, we can still play in the sandbox and not have to take it to the Ridley Scott level of these bigger ideas, right? We can have fun with the thing again.
With Alien Earth.
But Alien Earth just... Whew.
Even the ideas... These incredible new and fresh ideas that they were bringing into the storyline and into the mythos of the Alien franchise. Even the ones, the little parts here and there that I wasn't crazy about, I still had tremendous respect for.
Yeah.
Because Noah Hawley, who wrote most of those episodes and was the showrunner, I really admire and appreciate the big swings he was taking in trying to bring some real, genuine new ideas. And a lot of them really landed and were really well placed and have now changed the genetics of that franchise sort of forever, but in my opinion, in a really positive way that has opened up like you mentioned, the sandbox. It has opened up that Alien franchise sandbox into more like a beach now.
Yeah.
There's so much more terrain that writers and filmmakers and comic book writers or artists or authors can play with in the Alien franchise now, thanks to Alien Earth.
I don't want to give away too many specifics because it's still, I'm sure something people are catching up on. But there are some, if you're a fan of just of the Alien series and everything involved, there are some concepts, there's some imagery,
Yeah.
there's some interactions between characters that you kind of recognize because you know this whole world, and it's really jarring to see some of the way these writers have put these characters together.
Yes.
Like things you would never ever
Expect
expect
or consider, yeah.
And all of a sudden they're doing it, and it kind of makes sense. You're not
But
bothered
isn't that
by it,
what
and
we,
it's great.
Isn't that
Yeah.
what we crave as
Yeah.
fans?
Yeah.
Every
Oh my God.
single one
when
of
someone
us.
can surprise you
Oh.
like that, where you're like, who would have even thought to do that? And it shouldn't.
Like-
no, that shouldn't work, but it does. You
Like
know?
having this plot line where now human-ish characters can verbally communicate with
I wouldn't
xenomorphs.
give away too much. It's
Okay.
a current series.
Okay, if that's a spoiler, I apologize. I
Well,
won't say anymore.
Yeah, I would.
I want to
but-
use that one. If I
Yeah.
revealed something you didn't know,
Yeah.
I apologize. I really do. I should have said spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But to me, that one
course, that's-
idea,
yeah.
to me, it's almost like the Sistine Chapel ceiling of
Yeah.
this franchise, where the two fingers meet finally, where it just opens up all this new territory that can be explored. And if you go all the way back to like the Dark Horse Comics runs of like the late 80s, early 90s, these were wild Alien franchise storylines
Yeah.
because they could do whatever they wanted. They didn't have any money behind it. It was just pencils and paper that they're creating comics. And so to see, like, for example, like the new Predator movie about to come out, Predator Badlands, to me, that looks, anyone that says, I've seen people saying, well, it doesn't really look like the Predator movies that have come before it.
Good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And also, it looks exactly like the old Predator comic books from Dark Horse Comics
sure.
that I always hoped would find their way into the like filmic continuum of these films. I'm a huge Alien and Predator fan. I'm going to tell you something right now.
The great thing about this series, the way it starts, if you don't really know where they're landing time wise, it's like you're watching at first. I'm like, are they remaking like the first movie? It felt so much like the first movie,
Yes.
the characters and what was going on.
I mean, I almost thought it was a
and then I'm
remake.
like, oh, it's a remake or something, and then or I was like, are they just doing a complete reimagining, right? But it was going to be similar, and then I'm like, then you realize what's going on,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, wow, this is great, and then their love of the originals and the Easter eggs. I love Easter eggs. I love watching. Oh, that's from that. And that's like they had so much of that going on too.
And talk about brilliant use of pop music.
Oh God! Again, it reminded
Brilliant.
me of the Battlestar Galactica remake. I don't know if you ever got into that.
Yes, of course. One of my favorites.
And how sometimes all of a sudden they would slip in these pieces. Done by a different artist, or whatever,
Yeah.
but you realize, oh my God, that's like this old pop song. They'd used it all along the Watchtower.
The other thing,
Anyway.
and then we can move on, about Alien Earth that really impressed me. I was sort of afraid what was going to happen is they were going to try to drag the Alien films down onto the TV screen. But what I found so rewarding about those 8 episodes, for good and for bad, is it really is a television show. It is the Alien franchise as a television show, really sort of emboldened by what television is and what television can communicate to an audience in their living room.
Yeah.
I think Noah Hawley and those producers made a very smart decision to really embrace that format specifically and not try to squeeze the formatting to fit a television screen, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel that way?
Yeah. My only criticism of the show was that I thought it just ended not on the strongest note, and they kind of set us up, I thought, for some things that would have paid off this season.
Yeah.
And I mean, hopefully they still pay off. I would assume they're going to continue. But that was really my only letdown, is that we didn't, because I just kind of thought we were going to get some certain answers, and of course they didn't. A little X-Files-y feeling in that sense. But,
Yeah, I agree with that. I think part of my problem with the finale, the 8th episode, was I was sort of sad that it was over. I was sort of sad that some of my guesses for the resolution didn't play out the way I'd hoped, right? Because when you're watching a TV show unfold, you're like a screenwriter in your own mind.
Well, that's the thing. I think what we're all thinking is still going to unfold to some degree.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we have to wait so long like I hate this new sort of way of making what they call a TV series when it's just a handful of episodes, and then you have to wait another year.
What is this thing with like
year or
8
two
episodes
before you get them? And it's like you can't. You got to hold our interest. We just touched hands.
I noticed that for a second. We almost held hands. No, I kind of loved that.
So I just think about like God, 60s and the 70s, you'd get like 30 episodes from a season.
Look, I would settle for 10 episodes. I'd settle for 12 episodes.
I mean,
6. I think a lot of people have sort of tried to, maybe for budgetary reasons and for production reasons, they've sort of started to emulate the British model. If you watch a lot of British TV, they don't call them seasons. They usually call them like series, and they're like 6 episodes or 8 episodes, and they sort of get in and get out. Like, look at like each season of the British Office. It's like in and out. It's like 5 or 6 episodes. Yeah. And when you have a 40-minute episode, it's like 2 hours in total for what would be a season. And of course, it cuts the budget down. It compacts the storytelling into maybe more satisfying dynamics. But until you feel like you're rushing as a storyteller, and that is really something you could pick up as an audience member. I think the last couple episodes of Alien Earth, you could feel that sort of rush.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what comes next. And I think more franchises that are considering adapting their IPs for a television market, they would be smart to take a look at Alien Earth and take a look at the way the Alien franchise has diversified itself over the decades, whether, like I said, comics or novels, or in all these ways, in such productive and in interesting ways and unique ways, where every sort of kind of artery is its own special thing, whether it's the novels or the comics. They all have their own sort of special aspects.
Yeah, sometimes it gets to feel a little much when you want to like really grasp a.
It's really Star Wars that really set the tone.
You're pointing at me like I didn't make Star Wars.
Joe Francasio actually made Star Wars, not George Lucas. Yeah. But like Star Wars, like Lucas understood that we could tell supplemental stories in comics way back in the 70s.
Oh yeah, of course.
That just keeps the audience primed in between movies. Back when you didn't have the internet, you didn't have VHS. You had to literally wait for the next movie to enjoy the next part of the story. You couldn't even revel in an existing film. So, yeah, anyway.
Hey, Davey, thank you. I see he's out there. He's being a cheerleader for us. I love this guy. We're going to be talking to him soon.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
Later on, we're going to do the old call-in segment.
Yeah,
where
we'll
we have
taking some calls.
Callers, and that's when people will get to... We have our new season 3 poster that people were dying for, and we've
had a lot of people ask if we would do a poster for season 3, and so we did it.
We're going to give away some free tonight to people who call in, and we did that last time, and we'll get those out to you.
And basically, generally speaking, the image you're seeing on your screen right now on the left of the screen is the general poster art by a wonderful artist named Mark Putenis. He did some season 1 art for us back in our Halloween franchise season. That was wonderful. And here's the actual poster, actually. Here are the actual posters.
Yep.
And they're printed on a nice cardstock, too.
Davey Deathray actually is the very first person to get one of these. He just got one this week.
Awesome.
And so later on, we'll have info on the screen for you guys to call in.
And we're just giving them away. They're for you. We made them for you guys. Just to try in any way we can to, honest to God, to thank you for the tremendous, overwhelming, literally surreal levels of support you guys have shown us this season. Again, this has been one of the most incredible years of my life. It really is an important thing because there are many times that Joe and I have been doing creative projects now for over 30 years, believe it or not, together. And there have been many times over the years where we said, we're just not reaching an audience with different... And a lot of our work was before social media and YouTube.
Oh, God. Yeah. We always talk about how things would have been different if there was the social media as there was today when we were doing our earlier projects.
Thank God we never quit. Because here we are at 50 years old and finally reaching this really happy place with our creativity. It just shows you, don't ever quit. If you're somebody that's reaching for a goal, it doesn't have to be creativity, anything. Whatever you're reaching for, please, please. People say this shit all the time, and people think it sounds like pap, so they don't listen. But I can tell you from true life experience that this is true. if you do literally grind and grind and grind and have intentional belief in what you're doing and discipline to reach your goals, you really can reach goals. You really can make something of yourself. I'm so thankful that we never quit over all these years and kept at it and kept trying new things, because it took getting to this project to reach an audience, and thank God for it.
Wasn't it really weird when you recently asked like the Google AI about us?
Oh my God!
It somehow knew
Creeped
our
me out.
whole history of all our like past projects and talked about how doing all those past projects perfectly aligned for us to do this show, and it was weirdly accurate, and it's scary, very scary.
It literally took the spit out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I made the weird mistake of asking the Google AI about Haddonfield Radio just to see what would come up. And it knew about things we used to do in our dorm room in college.
It was weird,
and
right?
you don't want to know what we were doing in our dorm room in college, let me tell you. But Google AI apparently was peeking through one of the windows in the little building in our dorm.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the Google AI seemed to know very strange details about our creative history that no one really should know. But anyway, that's AI for you. Gotta love the new god.
We're gonna be talking to Davey in about 20 minutes. Do you want to talk about the big news that dropped and show the?
Let's do that right now.
Do you want to show the trailer and then talk about it, or talk about it and then show the trailer?
As we were preparing for this live today, coincidentally enough, the Scream 7 poster and trailer just so happened to drop today. First of all, I think this poster is gorgeous. If you're a Scream fan, you've got to say that poster is beautiful. And that tagline that you hear in the trailer, "Burn it all down," I love that.
Very Force Awakens, very Kylo Ren, you know.
Oh yeah, like kill the past, or burn the past, kill it if you have to. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And so what we thought we'd do is we thought we would play the trailer, because just in case some of you may not have seen it yet, and then we'll come back, and Joe and I can have a pee-pee break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about it.
and we'll have Davey on at 9:30.
Because I found the trailer to be actually way more revealing than I expected it, especially considering they called it a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
It felt much more to me like a full trailer.
I think they're just going for it.
And here
like they say, don't be afraid to burn it down.
You have Kevin Williamson returning to his franchise roots. Now, he's only ever, I realize I didn't actually know this, he's only ever directed one other film, Teaching Mrs. Tingle. He's not directed any films since then, and he came in and...
But he's had his hand in a million movies.
Of course. There was a huge kind of debacle surrounding Scream 7 over the last year, and they had a director, and then that director bowed out. They had actors, and then the actors bowed out, and there was all this politics and nonsense. And it opened up the ability to actually have Kevin Williamson return in and direct this entry, which I guess he's sort of beginning to say may be the final Scream film. So, but that's also, as we know in the slasher...
Let's see how much money it makes, right?
Yeah, slasher movies, horror movies, saying something's the final movie.
It's a very different
really
climate.
Great marketing tool.
Yeah, but it's a weird climate these days for movies and horror movies especially, I feel like. But anyway.
So let's take a look at the Scream 7 trailer, and then we'll talk a little about
back.
it. Yeah.
All right, here we go, guys.
This is it.
Can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter. Reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
Down to the end.
fight her, like you. If you hurt her...
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
All your friends died for just being near you.
Where is my daughter? Tatum, listen to me. He's trying to find another way in. We're gonna do this together. You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall. Where? To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now! Oh, you got it. He's dead. You need to make sure you shoot him in the head.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother...
This is gonna be fun.
Ooh.
All right.
Wow. Are we back on? Are the mics on?
Yeah.
Hope you guys
Oh,
can
yeah.
hear us.
Yeah, we're back.
I was saying to Joe when we were watching the trailer, I was at first trying to figure out, one of the things that had made me very curious is what that, is it a museum they're in? Joe was saying it's like
It's a Airbnb, I think, that like
like
the
a
couple
themed
staying.
B&B.
Yeah, it's themed. Either it's the actual house or they recreated the house type
Right.
of the idea, and you can stay in the house. You know.
that character death when she goes over the banister and Ghostface rolls
Oh,
over
of
with the knife.
course.
That's
Good stuff.
brilliant.
Good stuff.
You know, it's funny. I've talked about it on other episodes, but Ghostface is tricky for me because Ghostface, of course, is not a character.
It's right.
Ghostface
exactly.
is a mantle
Yes.
that is passed from person
but
to person.
I think there's an important line in that trailer.
Go for it, yeah.
Is it where when he's talking to her and he says where we grew up.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're definitely, I think, implying it's somebody tied to the first movie.
And of course, you hear Stu Macher at the very end. You hear Matthew Lillard's voice. And we know through casting details months ago, we know officially that Matthew Lillard is returning to the Scream franchise for this entry.
How?
I don't know. But isn't that the great thing
Right,
about
of
horror,
course,
though?
yeah.
Horror is like when you're reading. I grew up reading a lot of fantasy novels, okay, and in fantasy novels, like comic books, another perfect example, like the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
What does death mean in a comic book? Right. Like characters die 3, 4, 5, 6 times in their lifetime, and come back different ways in different incarnations, different this, different that. Different timelines. So in horror, you get that same suspension of reality where there'll be some. What it comes down to for me is I'll buy it as long as it's creative and interesting and surprising.
Well, look
Just
at the
give me
Friday the
something
13th
surprising. Right.
franchise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons why the sequels shouldn't work, but when you make it entertaining,
Yeah.
people just don't matter.
Yep.
You can overlook a lot of stuff if you're entertained. You
I
know?
agree with that.
Because when you're bored during a movie, that's when you start looking at it, nitpicking it, and
I mean, don't you agree?
And Davey he makes a good point. I meant to say, like, they could be totally purposely misleading us here through editing and everything. Like, you think you're getting it all, you think you're understanding what but.
I mean, still though, I still stand to the fact that in terms of as someone who pays attention to so much marketing in movies, I was again very surprised at how revelatory this trailer is, even with that said.
I think they knew they had to. It's the 7th movie. They're also abruptly changing course after the last one, right? They didn't think they were going to...
Yep.
They probably thought they were going to keep going sort of in that direction.
The two main characters of Scream 5 and Scream 6 have now been relegated out of the story. Whether that's covered in this one or not, who knows? I have to say... I sort of cringed a little when Courtney Cox popped back up, but I guess you got to bring all the surviving characters back.
Well, if you're
going
to do it, then you got to do it.
Yeah,
right?
you might as well go all the way.
Right.
And it's not that I don't like that character of Gail Weathers, and I don't appreciate it, but it almost lets me feel like, well, of course she's probably going to die this time.
Well, maybe you need her for whatever this storyline is.
And I also read today, whether it's true or not, David Arquette is apparently in this film as well, and he also his character died. Could be a flashback.
You always have the flashback.
I loved whether it was in 5 or 6, or maybe even both, the way they brought Skeet Ulrich back.
Yeah.
And I even loved. I think it's actually, in my opinion, that's one of the best examples of de-aging I've seen in a movie.
I wasn't expecting that. I remember that. Yeah.
And what they did that was very creative is she would sort of see him in like a reflection of glass, which just helps with the CG, but just creative and clever.
Yeah, the rear view mirror type of thing.
I've always sort of wondered why Skeet Ulrich didn't have a bigger career as a star, to be honest. Even I'm surprised he
was
never
on some sort of a show. I thought he was. Didn't he do a show for?
Oh no, he has stayed relevant.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But he almost seems like the type of actor that would be perfectly suited to just be like the lead on TV shows, like network TV type shows, like a Law and Order or somebody like that. He just has that look and that type of presence. But
maybe the Scream franchise derailed his whole acting career. It's all he gets.
He seems to love going and doing the convention circuit and meeting the fans. So he's got a real connection to these movies still, and it is what he is, I guess. Hey, it's not a bad legacy to have.
As long as they can keep getting back the right ghost-faced voice, then they're golden.
Well,
right?
why
you
have
changed it? No, I'm just saying, if once you have somebody else or that guy gets too old and suddenly the voice changes, although these days you can AI that stuff and
has there
it'll
ever
never
been
change,
a history within any of the sequels where fans felt that the voice was off? Because
No,
I think they
I'm just
always
saying
use the same guy.
They do.
didn't
That's
they?
what I'm saying. As long as they have him, they're fine.
Yeah.
You know, once you start trying to slip in a different voice, then you're screwed, I think, on that one.
Just because I've devoted so much time over the years discussing all my various crushes, I'm going to out Brockstar BR. Brockstar wanted to say he has a thing for Courtney Cox. So, a little crush on Courtney Cox.
Huh.
That's interesting. I noticed that
He likes the abrasive type. I'm just
Sidney
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Prescott's daughter's character name, I guess, is Tatum. And that was the name of, what's her name from the first movie? I'm blanking on her name. She became like a real social justice warrior. God, I'm having a terrible time with names
From the
tonight.
original Scream?
Yeah. What was her name? She died in the garage door.
Oh, boy.
Guys, can you help me, please? Can somebody say the name of that actress? God, I'm so sorry, guys.
You're forgetting. You're.
No, what it is.
Do you have the brains eating the worms eating the brains?
Oh my God, Brockstar is Brian Riley. Brian Riley, you are one of the most kindest, loveliest people that has ever communicated with Joe and I.
Oh,
You've written the most beautiful letters that, honestly, I'm an emotional person. When someone who likes something that Joe and you guys
Rose
gotta understand.
McGowan.
Rose McGowan, thank you,
right.
guys. I'm sorry. I told you at the beginning. I'm a little off. I'm not. I literally have a fever right now, so I have an excuse. So my brain's a little frazzled. But thank you. That's why I love that you guys are here, because you guys don't have these brain farts. I should just let you guys have the mic, and I'll just hang out and drink my Fanta.
This is why we pre-record all of our regular episodes.
Yeah. If you guys could only see literally what goes on when we're recording those episodes. It's not as smooth as it comes out at the end.
If I could, I should string together all your swearing when you mess up a line when you're doing the intros. It's great because you go straight. There's no Christian slowly getting angry. It goes straight to just fuck.
Well, I have such a respect in my heart of hearts for the people who record audiobooks. Because I cannot imagine how somebody can actually do it. I can barely get through. I feel so bad for Joe. He has to sit there and listen to me stumble
Well, like you
over
said, I've been doing it for 30 years. I was actually thinking one of the recent episodes, like, God, I must have more hours of your voice recorded. I could recreate. Like with
I'm the
AI
perfect candidate for
technology,
AI
I could
when I'm
pump
dead.
it so full of every phrase
Yeah.
that known to mankind. You singing,
Yep.
you acting,
Yep.
you storytelling, everything.
And for, like,
your whole
decades.
life.
Yeah.
There's the there we go. There's my $1 million. I'm just gonna. What can I get the rights to your likeness and AI, your voice as like the perfect
Here we are.
narrator.
We are here in a public forum right now, and I am giving you the rights posthumously to my identity, my voice,
There we
my imagination,
See you guys. I'm about to make $1 million.
my tiny peen, and all the rest of it. You are welcome to it. Keep my peen in a jar.
So
Do me that justice. Actually, keep it over next to your brand new Michael Myers mask. So
I can't wait
season
to talk
5
about
and
that.
6 listeners can chuckle at it.
So as we are about to bring on a guest, I guess we should
Let's
talk
do it
a
now. I
little
wanna
bit
bring him
about
on now.
Yeah, well, I was going to tell everyone sort of about Davey Deathray, who's got his own YouTube channel. I suggest you guys, I mean, it's very simple. Just go look it up. He's also in our comments here.
If you literally just go to search on YouTube and type Davey Deathray, you'll find him in 1 second.
Wonderful guy, has his finger on the pulse of everything horror, everything going on. Like I said earlier, I really use his opinions on a lot of the current releases and stuff to gauge how quickly I'm going to try and run out and see something, or whether it's even worth seeing at all. And sometimes to try and make sense of the current soap operas that you hear out there regarding the franchises that we all know and love with Friday the 13th.
You know what Davey's also really, really good at is clipping his almost daily live episodes, and then he clips them into these little digestible pieces.
Social media skills are off the chart.
Yes.
I was actually messaging him today.
I try to pay attention
saying,
to everything he
what
does.
do you use? Because we rarely go live, and of course earlier 8 o'clock this morning, I'm trying to change all the software we use, and it went horribly, and I went back to the original stuff. But, I one day hope to emulate his ability to master, like, all the social media videos, and because it's not just the regular YouTube videos. He's got the shorts, and he does a lot of live streams.
A couple of things I always think about with Davey is, how many times do you and I say, when this movie comes out, we are gonna go see this movie, and we go to the movies like once a year between both of our schedules.
I'm so bad.
Even if you love movies, it's not easy to go see multiple movies every week. To drag yourself out of your house and get yourself down to see the movies so that you can step out of the theater and record your perspective and record your thoughts and share that with your listeners and your viewers. Like, that takes a lot of effort and a lot of consideration and just intention and discipline. I don't know.
And when you were talking about being successful earlier, like, part of it is just always making the time, being consistent. You as a listener or an audience member, you like being able to rely on certain things. You like your shows. You want to. You don't want to have to wait a year, 3 months, 6 months, or just not knowing when new stuff's coming out.
Yeah.
And he's so good at just consistently having new things to talk about and fresh ideas and opinions. So
even before I had a chance to ever, communicate with him online, when I would want to know what the general sense of a movie was, I go right and just check it out. I cross-reference it with his name.
Yeah.
Because not only is he right on that razor's edge of everything that's being presented to the horror audience and horror fans, his perspective is just really unique in his point of view.
So I'll say, like, he made me totally second guess an opinion I had that I felt very strongly about, was the new Superman movie. And I just was not a fan.
Yep.
And I was pretty, like, I don't know. I felt confident in how I felt about it and why. And then I saw Davey just loving on it so much that I went, "Oh, okay. What did I miss? Did I miss something? Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Because I dig his opinion so much that I was like, am I just being a crotchety old man, or So
he also has a huge passion for music as well. And as a matter of fact, he has a nephew that is in a band that is like their music is like Queens of the Stone Age, like that good.
Yeah.
Like, some people say, "Oh, my nephew has a band.
Yeah.
I'll check it out."
Yeah.
This band, I'll have to ask him the name of the band because it's awesome. But anyway.
Hey, so this is also going to be something new technology-wise. Hopefully after this big
Let's hope this
intro,
works. We may nuke our live stream right now.
This is going to work, and we're going to make our way over, and hopefully you'll be over there at some point. Hey, look at...
Oh, is that really him now?
I think so. I think... do you hear us, Davey?
Wait a minute. How did you make that happen?
I can hear you.
What?
We hear you.
Wait a minute. Were you here the whole time?
I had given him the magic. You see that?
That was extremely seamless for us.
I spent about 8 hours today trying to figure out how to make this work, and I still don't think it's the smoothest way.
It worked. I was very impressed by that, Joe.
Anyway, hello, Davey.
Hi,
how
Davey.
are you?
Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me. I feel like I'm really loud, so let me know. I can turn down. Just let me know.
Maybe that's how Davey tells us that we're being too loud. Is that a subtle way of...
No, I think I'm too loud.
No, you sound good.
Yeah, you're nice
I could
and clear.
take you
we
a
want to
little
hear
louder.
what you have to say anyway.
Scream.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us, and Yeah, I don't want to just float your boat too much, but I just I dig your channel, man. Thank you for joining us, and we want to make sure all our listeners got to see you and say hi, and
Yeah.
tell everyone what your channel is all about in your own words.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just a huge horror nerd. So I, talk about the movies I'm passionate about, the topics that are just kind of on my mind. Maybe an anniversary is coming up and I've got something to say about a movie, or even just like, I think one thing I've sort of fallen into, everyone's got to be like a guy. There's like the Michael Myers guys, like the Halloween guys. There's the Vincent DeSanti is the Jason guy. My buddy Cecil from the Horror Show channel is the Freddy guy, like. And I'm like, I'm not a guy. And then Cecil told me, Davey, you're the live stream guy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I am. I'm the live stream guy. I go live like 3 or 4 times a week. I cover the news for horror. So, really anything that is interesting to me. So, sometimes it's a little biased. But yeah, just like today, I woke up and saw that Scream trailer dropped and was like, oh my God, I gotta get up and like cover this right now.
What did you think of
and
it?
then
Like, what did you think of it
Oh
generally?
my gosh, I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
So I was kind of getting those Blumhouse Halloween vibes from the
wow,
Scream
you're
trailer.
right.
It
Yeah,
felt like a
that-
little bit, a tougher, more physical version of Ghostface, which I was really digging. I was like, man, Ghostface feels mean in this trailer. And yeah, it's just a trailer, but I also thought it looked really good for a guy that hasn't directed a movie in over 25 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, Kevin Williamson hired a good crew. He knows how to, direct everybody, beneath him and everyone on the other side of the camera. So, yeah, I'm feeling really good about this, especially after a couple lukewarm entries. I think 5 and 6 are like they're total placeholders, but for me, they did not move the needle at all. And I'm happy that we're getting back to somebody who, this is Kevin's baby. So I'm very happy that it's going back to its home, essentially.
It's like a new Williamson era again.
I mean, if you
it's the '90s again.
If you think about it, Kevin Williamson's tenure with Scream goes way, way beyond before 1996 even. When he was like in a dorm room,
Yeah.
he was like sketching out like the opening scenes and kind of like thinking about his own anxieties and fears and sort of like funneling them in almost like
Yeah.
a play, even if I remember correctly. So he's been living with Scream for decades. And it almost seemed like, you know how sometimes they say things always work out for a reason? And all that flap that sort of happened with Spyglass Entertainment and a lot of politics and interplay, that generally led to Williamson. It sort of worked out kind of the right way, I think. Who was the director that was? It was Christopher. The director
Christopher Landon?
Christopher Landon. Yes, he was. I
Yeah.
think originally, and when I think Melissa Barrera, when they fell out, I think he also sort of, if I remember correctly, followed suit. Or I don't know. Maybe I have that wrong. Do you remember what happened?
It happened shortly thereafter that he ended up leaving the project. I don't know if it was that combined with just the overall direction, or maybe they saw, I don't know, maybe they saw a path to bring Kevin back. Here's my theory, and this is just kind of what I gather from everything I've read. I think when they went to go get Nev, obviously they maybe had to give her a little bit more money than they had offered her for 6 because she didn't show up there. But Nev and Kevin have been talking about making one of these movies since like the first or second movie, having Kevin direct one. I would put every dollar I've got. If I could chat with Nev Campbell, I'd be like, please tell me if this is true, because I think it is. I bet she told them, yes, I need this money, but I also need Kevin there to direct if you want me to come back.
Yeah.
Because that is a huge move to bring in a guy that hasn't directed in 25 years. Even if
and
he
his
is the
first film
creator.
was fairly was not widely critically or commercially
yeah.
well received.
Yeah, it was in that odd era of all those kind of teeny bopper horrors, and I think it was just a little too much like dark comedy. Not all those movies are gonna hit, so it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I don't want to like speak ill of it without having like a fresh review. But yeah, it just seems like it was a little kind of off kilter, that and Disturbing Behavior were like the two oddballs out of all those, that era of movies. I think Scream 7 looks really good.
I think Kevin Williamson's voice, in terms of his legacy, I think his voice is up there with like Tarantino's voice. I think him and Tarantino were the
unique.
two most important voices of the '90s in film, in genre filmmaking.
Sure.
And the impact of Kevin Williamson's authorial voice rings to this day in media, which is really a testament to the way that he was able to reach an audience and then build on that with the Scream films and Dawson's Creek. I mean, he's done so much, he has such a diverse catalog of creativity. I really appreciate that. But he's definitely a horror guy at his heart.
Oh, yeah.
And I see it in this trailer.
Yeah. Oh, God. Let's hope that it's not one of those trailers that's just way better than the movie.
I don't know. I got a good feeling about this one.
Yeah. No, hey, it feels good, right? It just when you watch it, it feels good.
So
there's an art to a trailer, so maybe they just edited it the right way. But I like from everything I'm seeing, I love the brutality. I like the the little chase scene where the girls are in between the walls. I always love that in a horror movie. Like that's always it really just puts you right there, And then even like I'm digging just the fall vibe. It looks like fall. The grass is dead. The three girls walking together. I get like big time original Halloween vibes.
Yes.
And then TCM. So there's the sound of the camera snapping. And then right after that, you see Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the marquee. So there's a lot of like love here. And yeah, I don't know. I don't need another trailer, but since I'm Davey Deathray, I'll talk about it and watch it when it comes down the pike for sure. I got to keep you guys informed at least. So there you go.
This is where I get my information.
So Friday the 13th franchise. Can you make some sense for us between the Crystal Lake series and the Jason Universe people? These are two separate entities, are they not?
They are, but they're operating together.
They are. Okay.
So essentially what's happened, so the Barsamians and Victor Miller and Victor Miller's lawyer, which is like a really strange kind of bedfellows sort of thing. They're the Jason universe at this point.
Yeah.
So they have like adult Jason and everything, and they're essentially allowing the A24 and Peacock to create the prequel series. So it sounds like the idea is to maybe have a few seasons of this show and then have it lead into a movie.
Gotcha.
So that's like, those are the murmurs I've heard from like my contacts and the people that I know that have their ear to the ground or have even talked to people on the production. So, yeah, I mean, the whole thing's wild.
You can't really rule out that the Jason we're seeing now is or could possibly be the Jason that would eventually show up as an adult Jason in Crystal Lake series.
Yeah, or they'll work it up to that point, and then we'll just have the movies take over. But it's very interesting when you look at the casting, because the young boy that's playing Jason, he's just cast for one episode on IMDb, or credited for one episode. And then there's a younger gentleman who looks like he's probably about 20, early 20s, who's casted as adult Jason.
Yeah.
Oh,
Only
wow.
one episode.
I did not know that.
So,
I mean, there's got to be a flashback situation going on here, I would assume. And that's why I haven't ruled out that we might not get adult Jason in this series. I don't know, maybe first season, but glimpses.
It's really, so if Sweet Revenge is canonically connected with what they're doing with the, did you guys watch the Sweet Revenge short?
Yes.
Yeah, so the Sweet Revenge short, very clearly alludes to the fact that Crystal Lake has some sort of, life-giving powers or life-restoring powers, right? So they could do something where Jason dies in the first episode, little boy Jason dies, and then in the finale we see that there's some form of him that's like scuttled off into the woods.
Yeah.
That's like not full adult, but like, late teens or maybe they do that time jump, but it looks like, I don't like.
Wouldn't it be really?
I've been covering.
Wouldn't it be really fun if you, like, going along with what you were just kind of going with there, if finally somebody depicted how Jason survived, like visually depict the idea, this dissonance between the idea that Pamela Voorhees is killing people because she's upset that her son died.
Yeah.
But clearly her son did not die.
It would be great to see the actual time from the drowning.
So,
like keep eyes on him and what.
Well, I've often
what
thought that you could
transpires,
kind of marry the two things, where you could have a situation where she believes he died, somehow he survives, and you can depict that. So there is at least some kind of territory that fans can kind of pick at a little bit that explains that huge chasm between the first Friday and even the second Friday.
Do you think there's any chance they go along with the old storyline of the that Pamela gets into some sort of black magic and to resurrect Jason?
Oh, good Lord.
Himself. I don't know.
I hope it's just that Crystal Lake has some weird power.
Yeah.
But this is what so Jason dies in the first movie, and then for the next what it might be 8 episodes. So in the first movie he dies. For the next 6 episodes we see kind of a drawn out version or a more fleshed out version of the first film. And then after Pamela is beheaded at the end of the 7th episode, or maybe that happens in the finale, maybe the last shot is like a teenage sludgy Jason crawling out of the lake, like he has been healed or so, some crazy thing like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it rolls.
The big question with that short, for me at least, walking away, it was what's up with this girl? What she clearly died and came back, but like what? Like that. It was kind of like it was a strong idea for them to throw into our first taste of Jason again. You're totally pulling us away from Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the attention for a little bit, which is interesting. If it's gonna, maybe it's an idea they're really gonna hinge on going forward. The lake being like you're saying.
Yeah.
And we've always talked about it. It's probably cursed to some degree.
I mean, you have this like.
Yeah.
Deus ex machina of Crystal Lake. If you follow like Davey's thinking, and it is this supernatural water that has maybe multiple kinds of powers.
Yeah.
That plays into that Voorhees curse, or Crystal Lake curse. I mean, I'm there for it as long as it's rendered creatively.
Oh, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
I thought so with Sweet Revenge. I was like, man, if we can see more, if there's more of that story that they're gonna tell, okay. If not, total waste.
Yeah,
Wasted
I think
$1 million
I
or
feel it
whatever
was
they
a
spent.
waste.
Right. Yeah. You got to give us something else.
The most creative thing they did is so the girl's name is Eve. The name Eve is inside the word revenge, right? So Sweet Revenge.
Yeah.
And the word Eve is inside the word revenant, which is what her and Jason both are.
I love this.
So if that's the creative stuff that I'm seeing in your Jason short,
cool.
then maybe you should have focused on other stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
but
really
quick,
interesting.
while we're talking about Jason, I got to get this out there because you guys just covered the 09 remake.
Yeah.
And Joe, you think Jason's too smart. Is that right?
In that version of him, for me, felt a little too... Yes.
I will say this. I think he's always going to be diminished. He is less so in the 09 remake. It's more of a physical deformity with a little bit of a mental diminishment. However, I think it's like the most interesting version of Jason. I just wanted to say that really quick. To me, he's kind of like a spider, and Camp Crystal Lake is his web. So he's just like protecting his home. He's got his tripwires. He's got his tunnels like a trapdoor spider. He like knows what's what, and it's like, no offense, but if you step into my place, like this is just what I have to do because I'm just like an animal right now. So that's the kind of like I love that they just did something a little bit different. We got to spend more time with the killer, with Jason.
Yes.
Kind of like what they did in Halloween 2018. I thought Michael was like the most interesting he's been since the first movie. In that movie, and I don't know what it is. I just I really like that kind of approach. So I just wanted to say that and get that out of the way. Oh, and thank you guys for having me. I didn't even get to say it because we started talking about Scream right away.
Thank you. It's us that should be thanking you for taking time out of your busy live streaming schedule to join us here. It really means a lot. And
I only had to cancel too, so it's okay.
I really try to take so much from watching you and your just determination. And the word that I always come back to with you is an ambassador. Like, you're such an ambassador of the horror genre. And what's interesting is you're sort of like, you can walk between worlds, so to speak. And not a lot of people possess that kind of charisma. And so, and yet you're such a humble and lovely person. And so it's just, it comes right through the screen. When I'm watching you, your personality just comes right through the screen. Should
I leave you two alone?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
No, that's awesome to hear because that's what you're hoping will happen when you sit yourself in front of a camera and you finally decide to do something like this. And yeah, I mean, you guys have your your past of like working together and doing other creative projects. I used to play in bands like since I was 13, played music, recorded music, never had anything really pop off, but always had fun doing it. And then when that chapter closed, there was like, what do I do now? I still want to do something creative. I've always loved horror. I've been a huge YouTube audience member since like '08. And so it was like, I just got to give this thing a shot. Like I've got something to say. And if I can compose myself and be articulate enough, like maybe I could just be another voice out there. And then also, yeah, just trying to be even-handed with stuff. And yeah, the Jason Universe stuff kind of sends me into I get unhinged with the silly stuff. But I try not to take myself or anything else, too seriously.
Yeah.
When did you start your channel? Exactly. How long
A couple
have you
years
been
ago,
doing
it was like the summer of 2023. I became an associate producer on It's Me Billy Chapter 2. Dave McRae, I was a huge fan of his.
Dave McRae.
Yeah, so I was like, I went to Mad Monster in Arizona a couple years ago, and I was like, okay, Dave's gonna be there. I became an associate producer. I'm like, I get to meet and introduce myself to him and tell him I'm his newest associate producer. He was in full Freddy makeup. And then I got to see Dylan's New Nightmare, the pre-screening. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start my channel. This is going to be my first review. And I just did it like on my phone. And then I got a hold of Cecil and was like, I'd like to interview you. And I interviewed him at a convention like a month later. And he introduced me to Vin. He was like, hey, Vin's going to be here with us. Would you like to interview him too? And I like shat my pants. I'm like, now I have to think of questions for Vin. And Vin's just, people that have their shit together are really intimidating.
I know what you mean.
I loved his movies, so it's even more intimidating. I still get that sort of that awe, that shock when you like meet somebody who you see in a certain light. So through getting to know Cecil and getting to know Vin, I got in with like the horror show channel people, and I actually have real friends in actual life. It's crazy, and I've been fortunate enough to become friends with Vin as well, and it's just been a wild couple of years. It's been really cool, and I'm so pumped that we're finally getting to do something together. I know you guys are really busy as well, and we've been talking about trying to put something together. Yeah. So especially since you guys don't go live very much, I'm very humbled and super pumped to be sharing some time with you.
I've been excited about this all week, just to share the screen with you.
Now, what about the Halloween franchise? What are your thoughts on the game? That's sort of like the big news recently. Are you a game guy?
I'm an old school game guy. So I was playing games earlier today. I was playing Super Castlevania 4 from the Super Nintendo. Nice. Like I love all those, like the Nintendo Genesis, Super NES, all that kind of stuff. I play some modern games. I really like Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite like modern games. I thought the remake was really damn good too. So yeah, the Halloween game is something that like I'll actually buy a new system to play. Yeah. Because there's a story mode.
Yeah. I just think it, to me, and I've only seen what everybody's seen, but I sort of feel a little deflated, I have to be honest, because I think it just looks too much like exactly what you would expect. And sometimes
Sure.
sometimes I wish, instead of just milling around in the past, can't you just let Michael Myers have a Michael Myers adventure? Like take Michael Myers out of his normal mythology, especially in a world of a type of an open world video game, and let's do something different with Michael Myers where the stakes aren't as high as like a movie or a TV show, where you can kind of manipulate the mythos and the character a little bit. To me, it just looks like we're going to be playing around in the atmospherics of the first two movies, essentially. Yeah. But there are like YouTube channels now and YouTube videos where you can just do a 10-hour video hanging out in like the atmosphere of Halloween, right? Yeah. And to me, that's what the video game feels like. It just feels like a video game recreation of those first two movies, where I was almost hoping, like when they did the Friday the 13th game.
But did you see some of the powers they gave Michael, though? Did you see, like, he's got that shape? You know what I'm talking about? That
No.
He's got this like, he turns into like this black shape.
What?
And he attacks.
He's got...
Yeah, they are giving it a little bit of
all right. See, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Well, that could be cool.
So you just gotta give him a cool power, and he's in.
I just looked at what I've looked at to me.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but
I appreciate that they're trying to kind of recreate, kind of very faithfully, the atmosphere of that original look, but of the first movie or even the second movie. But
shadow mode, yeah.
Shadow mode. Wow, that's cool. I like that.
Yep. Yep. And have you heard anything? I thought I just started reading, Davey, that they were like seriously shopping the rights around for the Halloween franchise right now too, as well.
I haven't heard anything about the last that I heard. Who was it that got the rights?
I thought it was still.
I think it was just that Akkad ended up
yeah,
holding on to them, right?
But I think that at least it was like 2 days ago. I thought I was reading that they were kind of.
Oh, like you're talking about the Arrow Video, because Arrow Video, people think that Arrow is going to be releasing their own kind of 4K of some of these movies.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, because some of the streaming, so like Halloween 5, when you stream it in the UK, it has an Arrow logo before.
Yeah.
So I think people are thinking that that's what's going to come out of that.
Okay.
I don't think, as far as I know,
it was
Compass.
the rights holders thing, but maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, Malik Akkad
Yeah, I think
is at the perfect point right now, if you really think about it. The valuation of the Halloween franchise is at its all-time high still. Whether people loved the David Gordon Green trilogy or not, it brought in like $800 million.
Hey, how about Halloween, the fan film, Halloween Aftermath? Was that what it was called,
my
right?
God, that's right. I'm so glad you
at
brought
all,
that up.
Davey?
I watched about half of it. Man, I will say this: 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It's bold for a fan film.
I don't want to watch any movie that's 2 hours and 15 minutes that's a horror. That's kind of hour 45, and then especially a fan film, I would just caution against that. So I watched about half of it. There was a lot in there that probably didn't need to be in there, but I noticed the guy that wrote the script is also the editor, and I'm not going to shit all over fan filmmakers because I don't even know how tough it is to make a movie. But just from an audience's perspective, I'd be like, I don't want to watch like Malik make a 2 hour and 15-minute long Halloween movie.
Yeah.
And I really love what he's done, and I totally trust him with the franchise. Like I think every franchise needs some like a Malik Akkad. Like Jason does not have that. The Barsamians were saying the other day, they're like, it's all about consistency and authenticity. Oh, so that's why you're working with Peloton right now, and that's why you have plastic Angry Orchard masks. Like that's authenticity and consistency. Like get the hell out of here. You have no idea what you're talking about. You got Greg Nicotero doing your mask. Did you see the mask he made for H2O and how big of a mess that powder white gross thing was? The guy's amazing. He just doesn't make masks.
Got it.
Everyone needs a Malik Akkad. I also really love the Evil Dead franchise, and it's like Bruce, Rob, and Sam, and they hire people they trust and know can make a good Evil Dead movie. And Evil Dead, I don't know how much I can swear here, but Evil Dead ain't fucking around. They're out there like doing their thing, and I think they're the strongest horror franchise out there, and it's rights holders that know what they're doing. Freddy doesn't have it, Jason doesn't have it. I hope they figure it out.
I want to just another minute on Halloween Aftermath because I definitely agree with you guys both on the running time right away. Even when I saw the length, at first I was like, is it 2 minutes and 15 seconds? Is this the trailer? And I was like, wait a minute, this is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But as I was watching it,
He's got Fanta.
yeah,
He's in the club.
Fanta Club.
We are getting that sponsorship.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Baby.
There's a grabber Fanta can.
Yeah.
What flavor is that?
Strawberry.
No. Are there any in that weird refrigerator?
No, I did not get. I haven't seen those
lot.
around here.
Wow, the grabber can. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I just want to say, as somebody who has spent way too much time in my past, Joe and I both, trying to make homemade movies.
Yeah.
I give those people a lot of credit.
Exactly. You got to give anybody credit for making a film beginning to
end. And they're getting a lot of traction with their film.
They're getting it out there. They're getting it seen.
I mean, Bloody Disgusting covered them.
Yeah. So you can't knock anyone at the level they're at for. I mean, it's amazing.
Davey said it right when he said, I would caution you against that type of a running time if you're trying to reach a larger audience with that type of material.
Yeah, exactly. It had that fan film sensibility that unfortunately doesn't hold your attention like maybe a Hollywood film. And I did find myself also kind of being like, I don't not like this, and I do appreciate what they're doing, but I'm gonna pause this for a little while.
Yeah.
Go do a few other things.
Over 2 nights, a little bit here and then a little bit there.
Yeah.
I love where it takes place.
It's an interesting idea.
And I think the idea at the center of Halloween Aftermath is really, really fun and really cool. And where it takes place canonically on the timeline, very interesting. But you're right, you could have done that movie in 45 minutes.
They must have had permission to some degree, too. I mean, to put it out there this publicly. I know they're saying they're not making money, but still.
Yeah.
I mean,
from our experience with
Trancas would not
they're
even let us.
all over this, so they definitely had to have something worked out.
Trancas would not even let us use an image of a pumpkin because they said that's too much connected to our movies. Like when Trancas was interacting with us around the time of when we were doing season 1, we didn't have a large amount of subscribers. We were thrilled with the subscribers we had. We were thrilled with the progress we were making, but in their eyes, we were just peons, and they treated us horribly. I mean, someday we can really go into detail because when we were set up to appear at that 45 Years of Terror convention and make our trying to promote our podcast, days before we were supposed to go, they said, "Nah, you can't be here. You can't have a table." They almost didn't
took
even,
us down. Yeah,
they almost didn't
kicked
even
us
want
out,
us
basically.
to. They almost didn't even want us to go to the convention. Now,
well, they did. They canceled the table on us.
They
we didn't have
canceled it. They gave us our money back. No, we don't want anything to do
we
with it.
went out there anyway. We said hi to Malik anyway.
And we went up and we talked to him, and he was a real gentleman, and I understand where he's coming from.
Very drunk and very happy.
No, it was their their PR people and all that, and they went from kind of reasonable to thugs really quick. It was crazy.
I mean, they truly bullied us.
But anyway, we don't need to hop on that forever.
We made peace at the convention.
It's crazy.
The convention was such a happy place that we all made peace.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there?
So
you were there
yeah.
too? Oh wow,
I was there, and I was depressed the whole week after because I had so much fun, and it's funny. I got to meet a bunch of people that I know from YouTube and everything, but there's a whole bunch that I've found out about since then that it's like, oh man, if only we knew, but yeah, that after party, Malik came up. I was wearing this shirt. He was giving me shit because it had Jason and Leatherface on it and Freddy, but it also has Michael.
Yeah.
He was tipsy but very friendly and going up and engaging with people. He was very appreciative of what the fans have done. I love Malik. So
I do too.
That's too bad though that they did that.
You know what?
I should say something nice about Halloween Aftermath because all I said was about the runtime.
No, you were constructive, but go ahead.
Well, in I think the way in some of those action scenes, the way they're shooting Michael and everything, they get some really good physicality out of it. So I think there's good acting and editing and direction and everything like that. I would say if I were to make a fan film, I'd be let's make this as concise and as hooky as possible.
Absolutely.
Just hook after hook after
100%.
hook. Just show people what I can do. Don't try to tell Citizen Kane with Michael Myers or something. Just drop my ego at the door and just do something fun that's like a business card.
Yeah.
Real quick, hit us with you see everything basically. Hit us with a couple of movies of recent times that really have stuck with you that you really liked.
We got 5 minutes and then Matt's coming on. But hit us up.
Hit us
quick,
with a couple of those.
Yeah, so the movies that really surprised me this year, Sinners, everyone loves Sinners. I had a really good time with it. I thought Final Destination Bloodlines was arguably the best movie in the entire franchise.
Yes.
So I think that's really cool. I'm kind of lukewarm on that franchise, and I was surprised at how much fun it was. I had a blast with Dangerous Animals. I'm Jai Courtney. I'm why does everyone hate this guy? This
I
guy's
think he's
so
come
charming.
a long way since those days when he had sort of left a bad taste in some people's mouth. I think when he leans into his strengths as a performer, and a lot of that is in his Aussie nature. I think he's.
I was just watching that. I haven't seen it yet. I was watching that trailer last night, going, God, I got to make the time for this.
Imagine
movie.
A serial killer that uses sharks.
Oh, I know.
As his weapon.
It was
incredible.
And it's a really cool mix and just something a little different. And Jai is very charming. And I'm a big music guy, and the movie has a lot of really awesome needle drops.
Yes.
So I can certainly appreciate a good mixtape on a soundtrack. Other movies that impressed me this year, Together.
I haven't seen that
I thought
one
was
yet.
such a great body horror. I love body horror, and it's also a really good relationship movie. It works on both of those levels. And then I would say within the last, I guess it was almost 2 months ago now. Spooky season goes so quick, guys. The Toxic Avenger was such a blast. I had so much fun with that movie.
Wow.
I don't know what I was expecting, but I was how did they think that audiences shouldn't see this movie. It was so much fun. I'll take all the Kevin Bacon you got. And
that
just,
director,
I'm like, I
Macon
can't believe
Blair,
Toxie.
he's so good. He's really talented.
Yeah. And I'm like, does Toxie deserve all these great performers? I don't know, but it works and I like it and I want more.
I was hooked on
yeah.
the minute I found out Peter Dinklage is the physical Toxic Avenger. I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that you liked it.
He doesn't wear the makeup.
Crazy thing.
Right?
Yeah, that's him under the makeup.
He's not under the makeup.
Oh, he's
so there's
not
a woman
under the makeup.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Wait
a
a minute,
woman that's
really?
under the makeup, but she like studied tape of him.
Yeah.
She like they had him perform all the lines so she could like try to match her physicality with his physicality.
Well, I take
And
everything I said
You
back.
can't tell.
I touched you twice
What a
tonight.
prick.
That's...
He's not under the makeup.
No, it's not him.
What is it, just his voice?
Yeah.
So he's doing
Yes.
like a Din Djarin
Yeah,
from the
he's pulling
Mandalorian.
Mando.
He's doing a Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal.
Too big to
he
sit
has
in the
no
makeup
problem
chair.
like signing the check at the bank. But all
No,
he
I
has to
think
do
some
is
of
like
it was
show
just
up
the
in sweatpants.
physicality. Like she's like a trained.
Wow.
She's been doing that for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's a little
Yeah.
weak. A little weak.
So it's being physical under the makeup
Yeah.
and having it work. But I thought that movie was a total riot.
I can't wait to check it out. I'm looking forward to watching it either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got to go to Nephew
So
FX.
yeah,
All right.
listen, Davey, thank you so much for joining us. This
we
was
loved that.
awesome, and
It just flew by.
I wish
That's
we had more
crazy,
time.
I know.
wish we
It's
had
so
more
quick.
time.
It's amazing how quick half hour will go by.
Will you come on again if we do another live stream in the future?
Yeah, even if you do some, I think you did a New Year's Eve thing last
Yeah.
year.
Oh, we're going to be
Yeah.
doing
We'll be
another
doing
one.
it
You
again.
want to come on to that
yeah,
one?
yeah.
We'll have you on for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Happy
Anytime-
holidays. Yep.
Anytime you guys want
We'll
me,
have to.
just
We're
give me
gonna
a
make
shout.
the New Year's Eve spectacular like a guest. Just
We'll get a bunch
bonanza.
of guests.
We'll have everybody on at the same time.
Yeah.
All the regulars. We'll
Hell
see how
yeah.
many regulars we can get on. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
let's do it.
But, yeah,
Really
go
quick
ahead, go ahead.
before I go,
Yes.
can I get in a couple things?
Of
Yes.
I
course.
just dropped my 2025 Halloween franchise ranking. It's like 44 minutes long, so buckle up, but it's got a lot of info, and I put a lot of love into that one.
That's quick
Wait,
by
wait.
Haddonfield radio standards.
Wait, when did you drop that?
Yeah.
Just today?
Yesterday.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that
Nice,
when I get home
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I love
then I
that.
did a 5 things that I want to see in Scream 7, so I just dropped that today. And then the last thing I have to say is shout out to Toronto Freddy.
Oh, Toronto
because
Freddy.
he told me about your channel.
my
So I
God.
wouldn't have found Haddonfield Radio when I did. Maybe I still would have found
Oh.
you guys, but I love what you guys do. I love the format. Christian, your voice is just so like inviting and warm, and
thank you.
the way you guys set up your episodes with like a real life story that's connected, and then going into the behind the scenes and the preparation on the commentary, where a lot of people just do watch parties and kind of fuck off or whatever. Like, you guys have a guide. So I appreciate what you guys do. I talk about you all the time on the channel.
Thank you, brother.
And
We-
anyone that
we do
likes
the
long
same.
form stuff, if you like what Haddonfield Radio does, you can get like smaller versions, little bite-sized versions
Yes.
of that over on my channel.
I agree.
We're getting close to 2,000 subs, so check
Yeah.
me out.
Go
See if you
check
think it's
them
a
out,
thing.
people.
Please, guys.
And if
Like
not-
and subscribe,
Please.
Davey Death Ray.
And for all our listeners in the future that will be watching this
Yes.
live stream in the days to come, please, we love you too, but please check out Davey.
If I was smarter, I would have thought I hadn't had a graphic for the screen with your info on it. But
he just did a
I-
beautiful
notes.
job.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I know.
watch that
Listen.
ranking video tonight. I can't wait when I get home.
Yes.
I'm gonna be watching
Oh,
that.
there might be a little bit of controversy in there, so have
That's the
fun
best
with it.
kind. That's
and,
the best kind. We love you so much,
Team,
Davey.
Team
Seriously,
Fanta for the
Team
rest of the
Fanta,
night.
brother.
I'll be
Drink one
bugging you
for
guys in the
us.
chat, and maybe I'll call in later.
Yeah.
Thank
Please
you.
do. We love you, Davey.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Bye, brother.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
All right, there we go. Sorry.
Well,
And,
that was a lot of fun.
It was.
I
gotta
love that.
close this now.
I've been looking forward to
I
that
got
all week.
sorts of technical things to deal
So
with.
now what do
there.
you have to? Are we still live? Are we still on the air?
I think we are still live. We are still on the
Yep,
air.
I see us. We're there on
And
the
I'm hoping,
monitor.
let me go over here, and I think we should be linking up with.
While you do that, I keep seeing Brian Riley's Brock Star BR. Brock, it just immediately makes me think of one of my favorite humans on earth, Brock Lesnar, former heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC.
Yeah, you got a wrestling thing that I'm not.
It's
I
not
wasn't
a
aware of.
wrestling thing.
I'm
It's mixed
sorry.
martial arts.
Oh,
I don't like
Jesus.
did you just call it? Well, he was a wrestler. I'll give you that. But this is mixed martial arts.
hey,
I'm
Matt-
so passionate.
Matt, are you there? Do you hear us?
I can, yeah.
Oh
All
my
right,
God,
there
we
we
got
go. All right, all right. Wow, I'm batting 2 for 2.
you. Can you bring the mask
Yeah,
closer?
yeah, we're going to, and I have some photos too. But first of all, let me introduce who we're talking to. This is Matt. He goes by Nephew FXX on Instagram. He's an amazing mask maker. He rehauled my mask, although I think he said, did you say you don't rehaul usually?
Yeah, typically I work from blanks. I think to date I've done 3 Myers rehauls, but the rest have been just fresh blanks.
So when you say blanks, are these your own sculpts?
No. I
Gotcha,
wish.
gotcha,
I don't have
gotcha.
that talent down quite yet, but yeah, purchase blanks, and I own some masters, so I have production rights for those specific sculpts. So I've made the plaster mold and I pour latex for those. So
That's awesome. So, we got to be friends with Matt through the show and hooking up on Instagram, and I, way more than Christian, am like a collector of all the movies and the things that I'm into, like to a bad degree.
If you could see what I can see from my perspective of what Joe has down in this basement, you would shit.
But it took me a long time to kind of really dive into the world of collecting Halloween things. It was always my number one horror film. But, when it comes to Michael Myers masks, like, it's hard to find the ones that just sort of nail it, where you just look at it and you're like, yep, that's Michael. I kind of learned mainly once we started doing this channel about all the wonderful custom mask makers that are out there, and how sometimes you can pay like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get these beautiful masks. I know NAG is a popular one that's out there. And I was always too scared to bite the bullet and really invest in one of those.
Right.
So I guess it was 2016, I finally said, I'm going to buy my first one, but I'm just going to buy sort of over the counter, but hopefully better than the average place. And I went to Trick or Treat Studios, which was really gaining a lot of popularity starting about back then. And I ordered their like $60 Michael Myers. I think it was supposed to be an H1 mask. And it was decent. I knew it wasn't like getting the $400 ones, but it was just like the best one I had for a while. And then we started doing the show. I started becoming aware of this idea of people rehauling masks, the store-bought masks, and making them like much more movie quality. And finally, I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And because there's also a part of me that's like, you're afraid to do it because you might ruin it. You don't know what's going to happen. And I felt like I had this unique sculpt. Mine was like it was like a thick latex. It had not great hair at all for Michael Myers, but I noticed it was different than a lot of the rest. And I bought another one in like 2021 or 22 from Trick or Treat Studios. Technically the same mask, same price point, but it was a completely different mask. So I kept looking at that original like, this is something cool. And then I started seeing Matt here doing his rehauls, and I said, I have to just go for it and get somebody to do this and see if they can make this one better, because I thought I could see some potential in there. Right, so I reached out to Matt, and he was kind enough to do like he said.
And
he barely
what a
does
job
it.
he did!
Oh my
Holy
God!
Christ.
So Matt, can you just tell me now? You get the mask. What are your thoughts on the mask that I had, and where? I don't know. Do you any thoughts on the sculpt, or if it seemed unusual at all? Because I thought it was a little unique.
Yeah, no, definitely. So Trick or Treat Studios is unique in a lot of ways, and mostly because Justin Mabry is, I don't know if he's the founder or co-founder. I know he's co-owner with Chris Sefro, but he is, prior to Trick or Treat Studios existing, he was doing Myers masks for a long, long time under the name Night Owl Studios.
Right.
So those masks that you were talking about, like, the nags and all those other accomplished sculptors where, it's $400 minimum price point to get into some of those masks. Night Owl was right there punching with the heavy hitters. So what's great about Trick or Treat, and what really kind of spawned the whole rehaul thing, was now you have an opportunity to go on Amazon or go to a Spirit Halloween and get basically a Night Owl Studio sculpt for $60, which that it completely blew the doors off for all collectors. So this, the mask you sent in particular, I think was when it was a Night Owl Studios mask, because it was a sculpt by Night Owl and existed as that prior to it being a Trick or Treat Studios offering. I think it was called Maniac. I'm almost positive. I'm a terrible historian with sculpt names. There's a gazillion of them. But I think this one was sculpted specifically to look like the Halloween 4 cover, like the poster mask.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was not advertised as that.
Is this one you're talking about right now?
Yeah,
wow,
I
see
know that it was definitely. I wouldn't have gone for that one, and I think I remember it being H1 and maybe H2, but it is interesting because Matt sent me some photos, of the progress, and then when it was finished, and there are a few you took that I'm like, whoa. Like it's definitely looks like an H4 mask at times.
Do you have these pictures?
Yes,
Let's take a look at some of these. And maybe can you see the screen where you are, Matt? Because maybe you can describe some of what you're seeing here.
So that top left is what I sent him basically.
Okay.
That's how it was.
So go ahead, Matt. Let us know what you're seeing here.
So where I'm at and just how my internet is, unfortunately, I think there's a significant delay.
Okay, gotcha.
So I could, on my screen, it's just you two guys on mute talking to each other.
Okay, it should be changing any second. It'll change for when he catches up. You let us know. But you can see that's why I sent him. It didn't look great at all. The hair was just awful. But I think it's interesting that second photo is after Matt got it, and he sculpted the hair that was on it like you're right, and that looks so much like an H4 mask right there.
Well, he got those wisps so freaking perfect. Those wisps on the side, that's just so Michael to me.
I think one of the
So
go ahead.
On the few like rehauls, like actual traditional rehauls I've done, I like to take the mask and try to like squeeze whatever potential I can out of it as is, like stock. So I'll kind of do the hair and maybe throw it in some moody lighting and get an idea of what works and what doesn't, just before I kind of dive in and start changing things. Because if I go kind of too aggressive, which I can do on things that I pour the latex for, because if I screw it up, I just pour some more latex and it's not a big deal. But obviously, this is your mask. I didn't want to go wild until I kind of got a feel for it. So that's really what that second picture was, me getting a good look at the eye cuts, getting a little bit of top-down lighting, but still quite harsh lighting, and doing up the hair just to kind of get that 1978 feel and seeing how 78 I can make this sculpt look. So.
Yeah, he had asked me like what look I wanted, and I said, well, whichever you think is going to work best, but I would love either H1 and an H2 would be my second choice if possible.
I love that you do that paint layer that's like a dark brown, that when you put the white over it again, you get this whole new dimensionality out of the white. It's really interesting.
Yeah, there's a gazillion different ways to do like color layering and stuff. And even the way that I do it changes probably every other time I paint a mask, which is probably obnoxious for people that reach out for tips and tricks, because I'll tell them one thing and then do something on the next mask that's totally different. But on this one, I really kind of wanted the dark to be there. And if I wanted to sort of get pink hues in there, draw them out later with inks and different pigments. So that's why I went the dark too, because I wanted also the ability to get that dark to shine through the eyebrows like later on.
Yes.
So are you using an airbrush? Are you using airbrush?
Primarily airbrush. Yeah.
And so you're just putting so that third picture, you've taken the hair off, and that's still the original white, and then you've added the brown, and then you've put white over the brown.
Yeah, so that third picture really was me getting a good look at what the eye cuts looked like in like lighting that I thought would be conducive to like getting a good feel for that. So if you look at the difference between the second and the third picture, the big difference is the eye cuts.
Yeah. Now, did you adjust the eye holes at all?
Significantly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's what I immediately, like, when I got it back in my hands, I was like, oh, those eyes, like they're so much better.
Yeah, that's always the thing. So even it could be the best sculpt on earth. If the hair is wrong and the eye cuts are wrong, it's not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that like immediately will be like, well, it looks cool, but it doesn't look like him.
And now I'm curious that the bottom left photo, was that you testing out an H2 shape by any chance?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, that was just me prepping it for hair. But I was like, you know what? Let me get some Warlock stretch on this and just see if those eye cuts line up the way they would if this was,
right,
you know, a 1978 mask stuffed on Dick Warlock's head.
It's amazing how much the shape of the performer's head changes the personality of the mask when it's on screen. And Dick Warlock's head is just so different than Nick Castle's that it almost feels like a different Michael Myers.
That H2 shape is so unique.
Yeah. I love it, though.
It is, yeah. Even when Tommy Lee Wallace wore the mask in Halloween 1 in that, I think it was a closet scene, you know, in stills, you can, it's like, is that a stunt mask? And no, you know, that's the hero. It's just on a different head.
That's so interesting.
I changed the photos, and I'll probably catch up with you in a second, but we're seeing, it looks like a lot of the hair process now, which to me, you know, one of the biggest differences with this mask was getting the hair redone. And once the hair is in place and sculpted right, like, oh my God, you know,
it's night and day, really.
So what are you using for the actual hair now, the replacement hair?
So I've got two different fibers that I used on this one, and it's kind of been my recent go-to for Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 masks. The dark brown one that you see there is Icelandic wool, and the one to the right of that, this kind of more Kirk looking hair, is actually a blend, and it's escaping me. One of them is mohair, so it's an acid etched dyed mohair, but it's blended with something else, and I forget what it was. It's another type of wool, but that was a pre-bought blend under the name Biscuit. I think that's referring to the color, but that's like when I look it up to order, I just look up Biscuit. So those are the two that got blended together. That upper left-hand corner picture, you can kind of see like it's dark brown, but there's a little bit of streaky blonde in there. And that's because I typically use a hackle, but it's in storage right now. So I just hand blended it, you know, put a couple hairs down, a little more, and you build it up. And that kind of blend that I've been using on the H1 and H2 gives that sort of like, depending on how the light's hitting it or the angle, you can definitely see the Kirk elements kind of bleeding through. And depending on how you finish it, that could be really effective for Halloween 1 or 2. And depending on how, like if you're going for a late film Halloween 1 mask or an early film Halloween 2 mask, you can color the hair or adjust that ratio between the two to kind of accommodate what you see on screen for those two films.
Is it hard to pull off the old hair?
It was on this one.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of why I don't do rehauls, because you never know. And people reach out and be like, hey, I've got a mask. I want you to redo the hair. And I'm like, you know, in theory, yeah, it could be super easy. But it might be an absolute disaster nightmare. And this one, scale of 1 to 10, I would say it was like a 7 for hair removal.
Wow. Well, thank you.
It was really out there good.
I like in one of the images, it looks like if Michael had toured with Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah, I know. I love it. The
right
wind-blown hair. Yeah.
He's got a total coif. Somebody said it in the chat. A coif. It's so true.
And then over here, now we got some finished shots.
Oh, look at the lighting.
I mean, look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, you really, I said it earlier, you find a way with your artistry to translate that cinematic lighting to the physical mask. Like you marry it with the physical mask. It's really brilliant.
It's kind of how, again, you can identify whether the mask works or not. It's just seeing the way those shadows fall, the way the lips, you know, hits, and of course the black eyes, you know. It's
right. Yeah, that's like a thing that it's sometimes I don't want to call it a point of contention, but there's a lot of different ways to look at what you want a mask to look like in hand in like convention lighting. And a lot of the people that I make masks for, I kind of more tailor what I do for the collector's market.
Right.
versus the cosplay market, because collectors typically have a mask in a case or on a shelf, and they light it the way they want it, and they'll display it on an angle that works for what it is. But when you get into like the cosplay area, these people are in convention centers with really harsh overhead lighting, neon lights, all this business. And you see a lot of mask makers will add in like really, not harsh, but like really defined, intentional airbrushed on shadows, like under the cheeks and, you know, and maybe on the forehead or whatever. And that's always a gamble. So for me, that's like, I really kind of not struggle with it, but that's something that I really harp on with a mask. I stare at the scope for a long time and I go, how much shadow does this need? This one luckily has a ton of great detail sculpted in, because I feel like it's really, really easy to overdo that like painted shadow, and it can look like a comic book.
Yeah.
Like it looks just like very comic book art if you kind of overdo it. So that's a delicate balance, but I was happy with how this sculpt kind of handled the paint, and it didn't require a ton of like the heavy-handed shadowing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put up a picture of it like in the dark lighting and the light, because it works both.
Yeah, it really does.
You know, I mean, it's night and day here. Look at that top left, right? That's crazy, all the way down to that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, it's amazing.
It's an incredible transition
for a $60 mask, and of course, I mean, you put in way more work than $60, and I can't thank you enough. And everyone there is Matt's, you know, information down there on Instagram. You can check out all his. He makes a lot of masks. He's not just like.
Oh yeah,
it's not just Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Although it is funny, I was looking through your page and. Man, you have made a lot of Michael Myers masks, haven't you?
Yeah, yep. So I mean, Michael's always number one for me, and that's kind of how it started. I wanted to collect Michael Myers masks, couldn't afford what I wanted. Figured that it would be cheaper and easier to just do it.
I love that.
And then
that way of thinking, though. So much good comes out of thinking that way, in a way.
I feel like that's such a common story.
I wanted to bring it over.
World.
I can't talk about it and not have it over here. Hold on, gotta get my headphones back on. I mean, I'm definitely expanding a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm producing a lot of Jason related stuff. I do a part 2 and a part 4. I have a Pumpkinhead bust, which is huge and amazing, and that I still haven't made the mold because my back. I'm trying to prepare for that because it's physically exhausting to lug around a big plaster mold. But yeah, I mean, Michael's always been number one, always will be. But it's for me as someone with like insane ADHD, if I do only Michael Myers, I will lose my mind. So I love it.
Always
so
something
much.
new.
It's the prize of my collection. And so you also, I noticed you opened up the mouth. So is that the original masks had open mouths?
Yes. Yep. So what makes the Castle Stretch look so different is when Nick Castle's hair is so tall, that little slit in the Captain Kirk mask with his chin pressing against that, you know, and they were thin. Those Don Post masks of the 70s were not thick masks. You get that sort of like crooked open mouth look. And I figured because you wanted 78 specifically, that was the quickest way to kind of really drive that home, that it was not a Halloween 2 mask. It was for sure Nick Castle in a 78, kind of crooked mouth, open and eerie, like ghostly, eerie mouth.
Oh, you nailed it. I mean,
Yeah.
you nailed it.
100%.
It's awesome.
Really quick, you mentioned Pumpkinhead. You know, a movie I only recently watched, and I actually couldn't believe how much I loved it, was Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings, directed by Jeff Burr. Have you seen that one?
Yep, Blood Wings. I have, yeah. In fact, I watched Pumpkinhead 1 last night, and I followed it with Rawhead Rex.
Oh,
because
I love
that's
Rawhead
like the classic.
Rex. Speaking of Clive Barker.
So, yeah, when I was a kid, my father had a hot box for a while, and HBO was like not a thing we had in our house. And for some reason, they were playing Pumpkinhead and Rawhead Rex like back to back for like, I don't know, a month. And that became like a classic, you know, once a year double feature for me. But I was really close to watching Blood Wings last night, and I was like, I got to do Rawhead Rex, but that's on the list. It's coming soon.
It's
Maybe
funny.
tomorrow I'll
I
watch
had
it.
just missed it over all these freaking decades, but when I
Mm-hmm.
realized recently, I was looking into Jeff Burr, and I realized he directed it. I said, "Oh, I got it now. I definitely have to watch it. It's really good. It's really way better than like if you look at like online, people kind of are dismissive of it, but I thought it was really good.
But didn't we also just talk about Rawhead Rex with Jason X as the writer's an original inspiration for the writer, like how he wanted?
Oh, maybe.
Jason to
Yeah,
be
that
more like
does
that.
sound familiar. I feel like there
Anyway.
was a Rawhead Rex mention somewhere along the line.
So, Matt, again, I can't thank you enough. You put in a ton of time and effort on that, and your skills are. I mean, I wish. I feel like I'm a guy. I feel like I usually consider myself someone who can make things. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. No.
No.
I beg to
So
differ.
good.
100%. I'm always encouraging people to get into it. It's a really cheap hobby to get into, and I think you could nail it. I think you should do it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But
I think Joe could nail it.
Painting is which is a big part of this process. Is my weak point. I hate painting things. It's like real hit or miss for me.
Well, you do a lot of it though.
I know. Oh, I know. I have to, and I do like making things, and you got to paint them. But like, nothing will ruin a project quicker than just doing all the effort of making it and then putting on a bad paint job.
Work.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Anyway,
thank you so much, man. It was so nice
Joe,
to hear your voice.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Joe, if you ever want to come give it a shot, take the drive up to the studio, and I'll set you up with a blank.
Oh,
that's
wow.
right. He's local. That's right. Yeah, he's very close.
Wait,
like, Woburn was it?
You're in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I live in Woburn, but I paint in Lowell.
Oh my God, I live in Medfield.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Oh, that's it. We're all gonna go get beers afterwards.
So I'm right down the street.
All right, hey, Matt. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for doing the mask, and thank you for just being a loyal supporter of the show.
We're gonna send you a poster. Have we sent him
I
a
sent
poster?
him stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I did.
Right.
Of course, with
I was
the mask.
gonna say we'll put a package together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming
Absolutely.
on and talking us through that. That was
And
really interesting.
I appreciate all the support, guys, and you've always had amazing things to say about me into the podcast, which is super humbling. And I was just really, really excited and happy to be able to contribute in whatever way I could to this event and your podcast at large. And it's always on when I'm painting. I don't listen to podcasts often, but it's whenever you guys have a new episode, I'm like, oh, I got to get in the studio. I got to paint. So
awesome.
I love that. That makes me so happy.
Incredible work.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you.
We love you so much, and we appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Thank you. You're one of our most faithful listeners, and it's just a joy to have gotten to know you and to have shared your time here tonight. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Have a good Halloween, brother.
Happy Halloween, brother.
You guys, thanks.
Bye-bye. Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's super. Imagine Davey and Matt. This is what I mean about the horror community. These guys are so freaking talented. It's humbling. He used that word, Matt, just now, humbling. That's how I say that to you all the time. There are so many YouTubers out there. Like, Davey is really close with and collaborates with, like, Cody Leach. Yeah. And Cody Leach is, like, one of my YouTube inspirations, one of my biggest inspirations from that got me to say, and to text Joe and say, do you want to do something on YouTube together? Cody Leach and Leighton Eversole, Matt Draper. I mean, there's so many of them. I could go on and on and on. Davey, all of these guys are just, but Cody, oh my God. I would, to share a screen with Cody one day, I would be really, really, I'd be in heaven. Anyway.
You need to vamp for a second.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to sing a little song. This is a little chestnut I call Man, I Was Born with a Tiny Peen. At 51 years old, it's not going to change. It's stuck in place that way.
I'm just dealing with some software. No, I can't switch the after all I've had such success. Now the program we are using to stream is frozen. It's still streaming, thank God, but I can't switch the information.
Are we still
for
on
the
the
callers?
air?
Yes, we were still on the air.
Well, let's see what happens.
So we can keep talking, and I might be clicking over here.
All right, well, we'll keep
and
talking.
I want to try and get the info.
I'll throw a
a
couple more movies I've seen since the last live. I'll throw a couple more of them at you while you're doing that.
Well,
okay?
you did send a bunch of suggestions, and the Eddington movie. Tell me what, because at first I'm watching.
Did you watch it?
I did. Well, the trailer.
Okay.
I haven't watched the movie. But. Which is, I know, always. I'll watch every movie you sent me like after the live stream.
Yeah, that's the way he does things.
I know.
Here, check out these movies for the live stream. Okay, I'll watch them
you
as
did
soon
give me
as
the
we
list
finish.
like 2 days ago.
I know, that's
so,
true. And Eddington is like 4 hours long. It would have taken you the whole time.
I'm watching the trailer for live. I'm going, this is a horror. Like this, I thought these would all be horror movies.
It is.
Well, I know we get there,
Yeah.
but it took a while to understand what was.
Eddington
what was gonna
is
be
a
happening
movie
there.
that I waited to watch because I was absolutely sure I was not going to like it. Even though I've loved every movie, all three of the other Ari Aster movies, Hereditary, Midsommar, and Beau is Afraid. I loved all three of those, sort of in that order. I personally think Hereditary is the most important horror movie of the 21st century so far. I think it is the scariest movie of the 21st century so far. And I think Ari Aster is literally already, in my mind, on the level of like a Roman Polanski. Like, he's brilliant. But Eddington, there's something about the politics of it, the subject matter, that I thought I was going to, I don't know if I was going to get into, or I thought it might be too heavy-handed. I think it's the best horror movie of 2025, period. And I think it's a masterpiece. And
Who directed it again?
Ari Aster. And the last time I called the movie masterpiece, I think you also disagreed with me. It was Smile 2. But this is another movie, and I don't use that word all the time, but I would call Eddington, it's a masterpiece. I was blown away by how brilliant that movie is. But I think I might be really in the vocal minority here. I think a lot of people might violently disagree that it's even a horror movie, but I think it is a absolute horror movie. I wish I had more time to discuss it because that movie really had an impact on me and really affected me, and I really felt like I was engaging with art, like somebody's real art, and that is like a rare air feeling nowadays in the 2020s, where you watch a movie that's really challenging and really surprising and actually works on you and affects you emotionally or intellectually or both. Well, I just found that movie to be provocative and brilliant. I loved the acting. I love Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, and I thought he was incredible in this. I think it's one of his best performances. I think it's a hilarious performance.
I like older Joaquin Phoenix for excuse me, for sure. His roles have been really good lately.
Yeah, no, I think he's one of the greatest film actors of all time, I think. I want to hit you with another one I really liked. Bring Her Back by the Philippou brothers.
Yeah. Who I really like. Talk to Me.
Talk to Me, yeah. I want to say Talk to Me was what, a couple of years ago, maybe 2023?
That was one of the ones I really, really liked.
Really brilliant
It
debut.
had that European sensibility or just a not Hollywood sensibility that I really liked.
And I really love the Philippou brothers because they were YouTubers. They called, I think they still are YouTubers. They call themselves Raka Raka. And they do a lot of really interesting work within the combat sports world too, and like backyard wrestling and things like that. So I think they're really fascinating guys and really brilliant filmmakers because Talk to Me had this kind of pop sensibility to it. Even though it was dark, it was very disturbing and scary. It had kind of a pop sensibility. It had a real strong hook with that hand that you grab onto, blah, blah, blah. I thought Bring Her Back was a devastating movie. I was expecting it to still retain that same kind of pop sensibility that was so all over Talk to Me. But Bring Her Back is a dark, deep, unsettling meditation on loss and on trauma that I didn't expect it to be as gut punchy as it was. So it really affected me when I watched it because I expected it to be more of like a brio of horror. And in my mind, and when I was watching it, it was much heavier than that. And as it stands right now...
Did they film it... where are they from again? Were they...
I think they're Australian,
right?
Yeah.
So is that where this one was made
Very
too?
possibly, because I only recognize the lead actor. That's it. But brilliantly made. The symbolism that runs through this movie is absolutely powerful. And I've watched it a few times, and I hope somebody, because I'm too lazy, I hope somebody will make a YouTube video that breaks down the symbolism of Bring Her Back, because
I'm
it's
sure somebody will.
incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of, I was sort of stunned at how far these guys have come in 2 films. And what a cataclysmic leap forward this film was. And what's interesting is, right after they had the success of Talk to Me, right away they were getting offers from everywhere. And they signed on to make a movie out of the Street Fighter video game, of all things. Now, if you know them in their aesthetic and their style, it actually makes sense, because they're really into fighting and blah, blah, blah. So they could probably bring something interesting to that. But a lot of people were sort of saying to them through the internet, why don't you maybe do a couple more of your own, films in your own voice first? And so they jumped off of that and decided, we'll do another film. I'm sure it's not just, I'm sure they felt it in their hearts too. But thank God that they decided to make at least one more film that's truly of their essence as filmmakers. If you guys haven't seen Bring Her Back, woof, very powerful. You should really watch it.
And then tell me about, you also had on your list Weapons, which I have to say, the poster imagery at least is very striking to me. Very
incredible marketing, that movie. That movie has some of the best marketing of the last 10 years.
I honestly, I didn't really the storyline isn't very clear from the trailer, right? So I'm very lost. But am I crazy that the imagery that we keep seeing of the kids with the
arms stretched out,
is that, to me, is very reminiscent of the famous Hiroshima photo?
Oh my God, that's it's Vietnam, actually.
It's
Cambodia, I think.
Is that what that was?
That is
right?
the little girls and her skin's like melting
from the napalm,
off, and she's running. That's exactly.
Is that what they're playing
I just
on?
saw Zach Kreger in an interview.
Okay.
Believe it or not, where he literally stated that exact connection to that photograph.
That's
where,
all I can picture.
That's where that's. That's
see
interesting that you saw that symbolism and you actually lined that up in your mind.
I wish I could hit the poster. The program here froze. So while you talk, I'm gonna try a different way to get the info to the listeners.
But Weapons, I got the Art the Clown horn ready because I'm about to drop another hot take. Hot take. I think Weapons. I was so psyched. I was freaking so excited to watch it. I've loved the trailers. I love Zach Kreger. I loved Barbarian. I think this is like a guy who's going to be one of the new voices in horror, one of the pop voices in horror, in the front lines of horror. And I was so excited to watch Weapons, and I was so freaking underwhelmed.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah. Now, I know that I'm in the vocal minority here for sure. Pretty much, as far as I can see, universally, people have loved Weapons. And I think it is a really expertly made movie. But there was something that felt hollow about it at the end of the day. I never felt connected to any of the characters. And I think my problem is a case of overpromise and underdeliver. As soon as I heard Zach Kreger comparing what he was making with Weapons, saying this is going to be the Magnolia of horror, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, it does have a lot of stylistic, aesthetic similarities.
Bold claims, too.
To Magnolia. But the difference is you are intensely invested in every single character's story in Magnolia through all those incredible actors. I never connected really to any of the characters in Weapons. I felt like the characters were constantly pushing me away and pushing me away from the story. Like I was always being held at arm's length from the movie. And the only character of all of them that I did kind of actually connect to was the junkie, who is in a way sort of the lead of the movie, but at least there was something in that character that I could kind of root into to carry myself through the film. I do think that lead antagonist character, that the witch, Aunt whatever her name is, Gladys, incredible. The design, the acting, the look, the depiction within the story, incredible. There were elements of Weapons that were really, really interesting and really fun, like the shot when Josh Brolin sees the giant floating machine gun with 217 on it, that I started to wonder, wait a minute, is this movie about like school shootings? like a classroom of missing children and machine gun symbolism. But apparently Zach Kreger said he wasn't even thinking about any of that. So, but I think it's pretty uncanny. I mean, the symbolism is right in your face. But so the movie had a lot of elements that I found to be really engaging. But overall, it just didn't work for me. I don't know. You guys, I'm sure you guys may have loved it. They can't all
be winners, right?
Yeah, well, you know.
So, like I said, I unfortunately can't bring up the screen with the info for the listeners to call right now. But I
technical difficulty.
I can type it. I'm gonna put it in the chat. It's gonna appear in the live chat. There'll be like a phone number. It's a Zoom is what we use. And
so they'll be able to see the number in the chat.
Yeah, eventually it'll scroll away. I'll put it in again if we have to as we go on.
There you
go.
But
there'll be like a phone number and a passcode and all that. So I'm gonna type that in while you talk for a minute about maybe some wonderful movies.
I'll hit you with another one while you're doing that. Let's see what I got here in my list.
And then I'm gonna type
like
this in
Davey
for
mentioned
everybody.
and said so perfectly and so succinctly. I've never been a huge fan of the Final Destination movies either. I've seen a few of them along the line, and they're always entertaining. And of course, the kills, if the kills are done in a very creative and fun and with like a verve, then of course those are the entries that work better than the other ones. But I totally agree with Davey Detheray. This one, which I think is like the 7th entry, it's easily the best film. I think it's even better than the first movie. This movie was made by filmmakers that clearly understood their assignment and then just created all these set pieces that are evolutionary within the narrative and build off of each other and have story elements pertaining to them. They're not just sequences to kind of titillate, and I think that's what makes it work. I just thought it was super fun. Everything that's done right in Final Destination Bloodlines, by the way, is done completely wrong, I would say, in, like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025. Did you see that one?
No. Which is, what, are they
It's the requel, the legacy sequel, you would call it.
Okay.
Terrible. I don't usually shut movies off, like almost, especially in the horror genre, especially a new movie, because I'm always looking for stuff we could talk about here. I couldn't get through like past 40 minutes of that movie. I had to shut it off.
Well,
and it's on Netflix, and I had no investment.
When was the last time you saw the first one?
But I still was curious.
Sure,
I still
sure.
think that still has a good legacy. That title, I Know What You Did Last Summer, that's Kevin Williamson. So it still has a legacy, but boy, the 2025 version, oof. Not good.
All right, so I am going to hit right now. It should pop up in the chat. It's a phone number and the passcode and everything. And if you guys call, everything should still be online from Talking to Matt, where we'll still hear the callers.
Okay, good.
Okay,
loving this.
So let's see what happens there. And there it goes. And so if anyone wants to call in. Yeah. Let us know you're there.
You want to know another movie I watched a couple nights ago, only because it was there to watch, and I was like, this is pretty damn good. Jurassic World Rebirth, of all things. The newest with Scarlett Johansson, the newest one. I was actually shocked at how... I think that might be my favorite Jurassic Park movie since the first movie.
It did get good reviews, and I know she, like, personally is like a huge Jurassic Park fan, and was really into doing it. Excuse me.
It reminds me of the first 3 films, or especially the first one. Here's my distinction with the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. If it's dinosaurs attacking and killing humans, I'm loving it. If it's humans attacking and killing dinosaurs, I don't want to see that. Jurassic Park trilogy is the first kind. Jurassic World trilogy was the other kind. And that's why I didn't like any of those 3 movies. I don't want to see a brontosaurus dying on a burning island. That's not what I want to look at. It's like seeing a dinosaur being injured on screen to me is no different than seeing a dog injured on screen. I don't want to, or killed. I don't want to see that. Right. I want to see dinosaurs attacking and killing people. That's what I want. And that's what this movie is. And it's really good.
Good.
It's just a fun 2 hours.
Still one of the creepiest scenes I've seen in a movie is from Jurassic Park 3. When the pterodactyl is coming out of the fog. It's walking on the little bridge.
Oh, I don't remember that sequence.
It's got its wings sort of folded up. And it suddenly comes out at one of the people. Oh, it's so horrifying.
I actually thought you were going to refer to the dream sequence in Jurassic Park 3 where Alan Grant wakes up and the Velociraptor's talking to him.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird. Like, there was almost a Jurassic Park sequel that was going to be developed about this idea of these hybrids of humans and dinosaurs. And even like a really well-known screenwriter, John Sayles, had like done drafts of this. And they were like humanoid dinosaur people that were going to be like bred to be soldiers. Some of the genetic material of that idea sort of entered into the first Jurassic World movie, like vestigially, but that would have been kind of weird too. But what I like about this new movie is just back to basics.
If anyone does call in, you're just gonna have to start talking to us because that's the only way we're gonna know you're there. But
okay, so we won't even know if they're there.
We'll just have to.
So the line's open now.
The line is open.
Even if you just call, just so we know this is working, that would really help us.
Yeah.
So check out. You'll see it in yellow there in chat. Just call that number.
Yeah.
We're not scammers.
And if we're going by too quick, I'm gonna. I think I can even throw it in again.
Yeah. How about 28 years later? Did you see that?
The last one.
Yeah,
yes.
the most recent one.
Yes.
I thought that was excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. The Bone Temple.
Well, that's the next one.
I know, but you get glimpses. And I think I told you. Yeah, I interviewed Anthony Todd Mantle.
Yes, that's right. The cinematographer.
Yeah.
Incredible. What a resume he has.
Yeah.
Incredible. He's one of the best people working in the industry right now.
And just, his accent, and like I could listen to him talk about film all day.
I love that.
But you know what's really weird with these interviews I've been getting to do with Scream Factory is I've noticed that when I interview cinematographers, they're the worst ones at setting up the cameras for these interviews because I'm doing them all online.
Yeah.
So they're just in front of a computer and everything. And they're the ones that are always like they're just like... They're talking, they're doing an interview like this.
Oh my God.
I'm like, sorry. And I'm like,
that scared the shit out of me.
I'm looking up their nose. And I'm like, come on, you're a cinematographer.
I just have to say that House of Horror 96, this is my favorite comment of the whole evening. 28 years later should have been called 28 inches later. Yes, I would have to agree. A lot of infected schlong in that movie, for sure. But
sorry, I was just laughing at my face.
Davey, even if you call in so we see that it's working, we'll talk to you a little bit longer. Why not? Jump back in. We'll do a Davey Death Ray Part 2.
This is...
it's always so awkward when no one will call.
Well, maybe it's not working.
That's true. It might not be working.
I'm surprised that
that everything else works?
That we're still streaming.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
The main computer is completely frozen up. That's how intense this...
Yeah, we've really...
I don't know how
we're driving at it hard tonight.
I don't know how we're gonna stop the stream at the end. It's just might go on.
This is now going to be a stream that will take us all the way till next Halloween.
We should.
I'm having a very exciting, spontaneous idea, and I want to do it.
What?
Are you ready for this?
A year-long stream?
No, I just hit me, and I think it's the right move. It feels right.
Oh God.
We talked about before we started recording. We were thinking about announcing what season 4 was going to be.
Oh boy!
And then we decided
this is where we
that
make
we
decisions
would not,
we're going to regret.
That we would not.
Yeah.
We'll hold that maybe till the New Year's Eve live stream.
Yeah.
We'll announce season 4, which we are already basically working on. But is somebody there? Hello.
Yeah, it's Davey.
Davey! All right, let's do a Davey Death Ray Part 2.
All right, well, it works. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
this is
good.
awesome.
Okay.
Works.
How long were you just sitting there listening to us?
Just a couple of seconds, and then you realize. But I always get nervous whenever I have to enter things into an automated system because I feel like I'm not going to do it quick enough.
Yeah, no, it's got to be intimidating.
I can hear Davey.
Hey, who's this?
Yeah.
It's Stephanie.
Stephanie,
what's happening? It's a party.
It's a party. Anybody else? We have Stephanie. We have Davey.
This reminds me of the old. This reminds me of the old whack-off chat lines from the '90s.
Automated systems. I feel like I'm not going to do it quick. I've only worked for those, so I haven't.
You haven't.
I've never called any of them.
Where are you calling from, Stephanie?
I'm from Florida, but I'm currently in Ohio.
Ooh.
Okay. Vacation, work, pleasure. What are we doing?
I live here.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. I thought you meant.
Keep up, Joe. Keep up.
Whew. All right, we got somebody new on the line. We got to grill them now. So, Stephanie, favorite? Are you a Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th fan? Where are you coming at?
I love them all.
Okay.
Love the 80s horror.
Okay. Who's your number one?
Jason.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
But not the Angry Orchard Jason. It's the old Jason.
Yes, I agree.
Not feeling the new Jason either,
No. Nobody is, really. Let's be honest. Except maybe the guy who got to play Jason. He's probably psyched.
Yes.
So I want to point out too that if anybody who calls in that actually wants a poster, you just have to email us after your information, and our email address is on our YouTube page, and let us know, and we'll mail you out that season 3 poster.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna
the posters, guys,
literally
are really
kiss
nice.
every one of them. Every poster gets a kiss from me.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's hot.
Stephanie, so have you been listening to us long, or just season 3? Where did you
No,
jump
this
in?
is my first time. Davey mentioned you, and I headed on over.
Oh, wow. You got a lot of content ahead of you.
You may be now, after 3 years, one of 3 females worldwide that has listened to or knows of our show. I know of at least 3 females.
I love the posters.
We're creepily keeping track of them all.
Well, you're going to get a poster.
The posters are sweet. And then the Death Squad is really good about going out and showing some love to other people. So I got to give it up to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
That.
Yeah, your fans.
I'm jealous. Davey's got the shirt.
You can have a shirt too. We'll stick a shirt right in that envelope.
I think
no
we
big
can
whoop.
find a way.
You're going to get 2 shirts now.
Oh yeah.
I've been trying for like 2 years now to get an Etsy page up to sell all this stuff, but instead it's easier just to give it away.
It's the season of giving, Joe. Come on, get with it. It's the season of giving. We're giving this poor girl a shirt.
We're giving treats. People are going trick or treating. That's what the calls are all about. What are you, Davey? What are you doing for Halloween tomorrow?
So for Halloween, my parents are like right next door. We're going to do like hand out candy together for the little kiddos. So I always dress up as Michael and then, try to scare the adults.
I love that. I absolutely love that, to be honest with you.
Is there?
I'm such a kid. I'm like such a kid at heart that I was never into partying or going out like for Halloween. Like I like a good Halloween party, don't get me wrong, but I love like just the basking in all the costumes and the candy and just the really simple stuff of it all. I mean, I'll watch the movies all year round, but I like the innocent stuff on the actual day, I guess.
Say any.
I'm at work. What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, that was creepy.
Who's that?
Ooh, that's a hard.
I just want to.
Go ahead. Who's there?
I just want to say thank you guys. Like, I love that you guys are doing this, and just please keep it up. I love you guys so much.
I love you. What's your name?
You guys
I love
have a good
you
night.
too. What's your name? What's your name?
This is Bryce. This is Bryce. I've met you guys
son
before.
Of a bitch. Of course, that's what. Bryce, let me say one thing.
And
Bryce, that to this day, that is my favorite moment of that entire convention, was that interaction that we had with you, that moment. I still think
me
about
too,
that.
because I was there looking for you guys, and I happened to see you guys, and I was like, dude, I'm huge fans, and that was before your guys' channel blew up, and I'm just glad to still be here. And I'm at work, so I've been trying to like catch some of it. I've been on and off the live stream, but yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for everything you guys do.
No, it's us.
I just want to say also that Haddonfield Radio rocks. I love you guys. I'm here in Georgia.
Wow.
This is Corey Bird.
Corey Bird,
my man. Thank you for the package, Corey. You are a legend.
You're welcome, sir. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be sending some more things your way soon.
Corey Bird, for all of you to know, was the first person who ever called into our live streams, many live streams ago. He was the first person on air with us.
Very, very loyal listener. We appreciate it so much, Corey.
On behalf of Fanta, the chosen soda of serial mass murderers everywhere, we thank you.
We're going to end up in a sugar coma by the end of the night.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
and then I'll hop off the line and let other people chit chat and all that. But I'm curious to know, because I don't know if you were planning on talking about it, but how are you guys feeling about the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake? Speaking of the season of giving that's coming up, what are your thoughts on that, and what do you guys expect? And thank you so much. Everybody have a great rest of your night.
Love you,
Thank
brother.
you, Davey. So now that the remake he's talking about, that has the kid
That's
from
Rowan Campbell.
from Halloween Ends,
I,
right?
and it's I think it's Cineverse that did the Terrifier movies.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And
I saw the trailer.
I love the aesthetic they're going for, which is actually to my eye quite different than the original Silent Night, Deadly Night aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I love that more Terrifier style.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious about Rowan. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I mean, it's very curious as well. But I'm almost like, oh, is this what he's stuck doing now? Like because of from Halloween? Like
I don't know. I don't know.
Is this his thing? Is he a horror guy? Is it all that's being offered? I wondered if
I don't know.
if this was a like something.
It looks like a great opportunity for him. He's front and center in this thing, and I like the way they're marketing it so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely excited.
So yeah, thank you, Davey.
Hey, how's it going?
Definitely got to check
Who's
out.
this? Who's there?
that? We got
Who's
somebody
there?
else there?
Well, if you don't plan, I'd like to get down. I don't have anything to pass on to you.
Okay.
Okay. I did not.
I will
understand
admit
that.
I missed a great deal of that. I missed it, but it's not your fault. It's probably us because we're coming through the internets here. But I appreciate that you're called. I mean, I can't thank you enough, and we love you no matter what. I hope you can understand us. Who's this?
This is the problem when we use two tin cans and strings
Yeah,
to talk
yep.
still. But see, we thought we were cool. We thought we'd be doing like old school phone calls, and
Like
now
talk radio.
Now we realize the problem
Yeah,
with
it's
it.
a bit
right?
of a problem with
We
it.
have
but-
no idea. Well, the big problem is I can't.
Although
cannot bring up the
this kind
screen.
of party line style, I'm having a good time with it. To be I have no idea.
I'm loving this party line. I love partying with you guys.
Yes.
What are you doing for Halloween tomorrow night?
I'm gonna dress as Michael Myers and be passing out candy.
I love that. We got a theme here, apparently.
Yeah. I was gonna my kid is going as like a psycho clown, so I was gonna throw on my Santa art clown and join him roaming the streets tomorrow.
And I will be waiting tables at work with the noose around my neck, hopefully. No, I actually do love my job. I love going to work. I love the
You
people
literally
I
just
work with.
closed your eyes while you said that.
I was joking. Because I feel bad. Because I actually do. I actually really love I have like a couple different versions of my life, but I do love that job. I do love going to work.
You know what's really cool? Speaking of work, I have to throw it out there for our film buffs. My job right now, one of them is I do camera work for TV, and I'm operating a camera that was developed by for James Cameron's Avatar sequels.
Wow.
Right? It's this so you think when they would film like they have the CG characters, so they have actors in place, and they would like have to wear things on their heads to get the eye lines right because the aliens would be so tall.
Yep.
Well, it still didn't work right, so they developed this camera that's like on all these wires, and you can perfectly control its height. And so these cameras sort of acted like the heads of the aliens, so that the actors could talk to them.
That's pretty cool.
And get the eye line
And that's what
right.
you're operating?
Yeah, so I do it
Wow.
over for sports games for like the Boston Celtics games. I'm flying this thing over the crowd and stuff. It's like a wire cam you'd see on football.
And I wait tables.
Hey, and James Cameron.
Did I already mention that? I'm a waiter, and I'm 51 years old. I also live in my mom's
There's
basement.
nothing wrong with that, Christian.
No, I
that's
love
that's
it.
that's a blessing, sir.
I get up every day at 4 p.m. and go to work like all the greats. And you know what? I'm proud of it.
Hey, your life's a lot less stressful
I'm
than mine.
actually a damn good waiter. You wouldn't think that, but trust me. I'm a damn good. You can look me up on Yelp.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm not making any comments on that one.
Like, if you know where the F to dig on Yelp and in Google reviews, you're gonna find my reviews. I'm in there.
You must write the orders down because you have the memory
Of course
of a
I do.
goldfish.
I can't remember anything of orders. I got to write everything down. And we're
Anyway.
provided a computer to use, and I'm still with the little pad of paper, like I'm working in a like a deli counter or something. But I absolutely love my job as a waiter. I don't get to pilot robot cameras yet.
They could use you down here at Waffle House here in Georgia. You'd do perfect down here in that.
If you offer me a job at a frickin' Waffle House, I will get out of here and I'll hitchhike there now. You don't have to say waffles twice to me.
Don't do it.
I'll sweep the frickin' floors.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh man.
I can eat waffles like any mamma jamma, and I'm ready. You got a Waffle House down in Georgia? I'm there.
They can see you. You can't eat more than like 2 bites.
Look at that. You think I'm messing around? I will have you know I ate a box and a half of Lucky Charms before I left for this recording.
I'm sorry, folks. I gave him too much Fanta.
56 grams of sugar in every Fanta. Serial killer soda.
So,
give it to your kids.
Who else do we have on the line here? Take a breath for a second.
Sorry.
Let some other people talk.
I know. I'm monopolizing.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
It's Matt again.
Hi, Matt.
Matt part 2.
Matt part 2. Yeah, no, I had to hop on. I wanted to know if you guys have a favorite Nightbreed character, and Decker doesn't count.
Oh God. Well, you know, when I was watching it again, I don't know. I'm not gonna be good with the names, right? But the guy.
Yeah, that's all right.
I know he was small, but I kept finding myself falling in love with the design of the guy with the snakes coming out of his stomach and wrapping around his neck.
Awesome. Yeah.
Like just that idea of the snakes.
No, the designs are amazing.
Oh, they're crazy, crazy.
I want to say it's Steve Johnson, but I could be wrong about that. That did
Who's
those
your
effects.
favorite?
Let's see who did the effects.
I think just because it's an obnoxious thing to pick, I like the fake, the guy that had like a leopard face but was dressed like Homeboy.
Right, right. Yeah.
It was Image Animation who did those.
The movie, what's great about that movie is that you're thrust into this world. Like, there's not a lot of setup. You know what I mean? I love a movie that can throw you into craziness and it doesn't put you off. And you're like, whoa, where is this going? What's going on? And even, I mean, they fill in the blanks, but, you know, you got to buckle up and go for a ride.
And I have a fun fact about that also. Did you know that Nightbreed was supposed to cross over into Hellraiser?
Wow.
Yep. Yep, I did hear that.
I can see that.
Has anyone seen the Cabal cut?
Yes, we were talking about that earlier. Yes, I actually still prefer the theatrical cut, but I thought it was really cool.
Do you know what the main differences are between the two cuts to people who aren't well versed?
So there's 3 different cuts that are available. There's the theatrical cut, the new cut, which is like a director's cut. It's really nice and cleaned up. And then there's the Cabal cut, which still doesn't have an official release, but you can get a bootleg of it.
Gotcha.
Oh my God! Really quick, Sandy Peterson is here. Sandy Peterson, we love you.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Continue. Sorry.
Oh, but yeah, if you can find the Cabal cut, it's got a lot of rough, unfinished footage in it, and it doesn't flow super well, but it's definitely worth watching if you're a fan of Nightbreed.
Cool.
Definitely have to check it out.
Now it sounds like somebody's pod racing out there somewhere.
Who's driving?
What is that? Is somebody driving down the highway?
I'm sorry. That would be Corey Bird. I'm driving from work.
Corey Bird, you devil, you.
We're going to work with Corey tonight.
Right, I'm loving this. I want to literally go into work with you and work with you all night live, since we won't be able to shut off this live stream apparently ever. Yeah, good times here, Haddonfield Radio.
Back when
I love you guys so much, I had to take you on the road.
Oh, I love it. I'm glad you did.
We're portable.
I just want to say hello to Punky Stardust. I just recognized out there.
Another classic listener.
Yes, hello. We love you.
New Hampshire, East Coaster.
Nice to see
We're
you.
going to have to do an East Coast meetup someday. A Haddonfield Radio East Coast meetup.
I think that would be great.
Let's do it.
Back when I was in college, when I was interviewing for internships, I interviewed with Clive Barker over at Dimension. and I didn't realize it was him.
Oh, wow.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize I was talking to him until I looked over and I saw the pinhead bust, sitting there. And then also I'm like, oh, I realize where I'm at. I did not get the internship, but instead I ended up working at Space Jam.
Man, I'm realizing during this broadcast, you've had quite the life.
I know I didn't.
I freaking wait tables.
You
Did I
missed the
mention
part
that
where
again?
you missed the part where I did not get the internship with
But
Clive
you're there
Barker.
having an interview with Clive Barker back in, what was that, the late 90s?
Yeah, 96.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I was just starting my 20-year drug feud back then.
It didn't work out.
Didn't work out for me either. Obviously.
Hey, but here we are, right? We're spending our evening with you guys.
No, this has been.
Anyway.
I'm having a blast. What about you?
I always love going live. Like we were saying, I think next season there will probably be more live streams.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that could be actually a good way to work in our love for maybe other movies that aren't horror specific or the main sort of franchise we may follow in season 4.
Yes.
But I think we should explore more live streams.
Let me just say.
I think the Corey Bird just got in an accident.
Yeah, that's it. Rest in peace, sir.
We
we've
love
loved
you,
and
Corey.
We truly appreciate you.
I'm alive and well.
Okay. Just had to make sure.
I just want to say, Earthship Records said Henry Manfredini for life.
Yes. I still, because of that episode,
I'm still confused.
I do. I say it both ways, and I act like I'm making a joke, but it's because I cannot keep it straight anymore.
Oh my God, Henry
Oh,
Manfredini for life. That just freaking kills me.
That's good.
I think it actually rolls off the tongue better. Henry or Harry?
Yeah,
Henry.
you go call him that to his face and see what happens.
That's if I hope I never meet the guy because I will now mess that up.
I know.
I'll call him Mr. Manfredini.
No, I know. I'll be asking him for an autograph. I'm like, no. Please sign it, Henry.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, what?
Yeah. Just give us the Henry. Henry sounds a little bit more respectable, like a composer. Harry Manfredini sounds like a jazz musician in a local bar. Henry, now that's a composer.
Earlier, you were hopping on John Carpenter for being a grump, which he is.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen that he has been out doing a lot of concerts? Yeah, I think he probably does every fall, but he does the Halloween. He still goes out and does.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
I have to admit, like to see him up there, still kind of rocking out a little bit for his age.
I'm grabbing another Fanta. You need anything?
Are you sure? Are you sure you should
Going
be having,
all the way tonight.
Should I be stopping him, folks? This might be. I think I've created a monster. Oh yeah. Oh God.
If you guys get a chance to see Carpenter play live, definitely go.
Yeah, I think it looks like it would still be fun to see him do that, even if he is a grump like Christian thinks.
Yeah, it was amazing. I went a couple years ago. I actually left. I was vacationing with my family, and I left vacation to drive to New York, go to the show, and then drive home. And it was absolutely worth the drive.
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to be doing it, so I guess we'll have to try for next fall. You know who I really want to meet from the Halloween franchise I keep missing, and I feel like we're running out of time, is Dick Warlock.
Yeah, that would be something.
I would really like to get him to sign something.
Amazingly
and say hi
enough,
to him
the 50th is like, what, 2.5 years from now? It's
That's
not even
true.
that far.
So if they keep up that convention pattern, they should do another official.
How could you skip the 50th?
Yeah.
You have to do it.
Which they usually do every sort of 5 years.
I think it's
or
every
so.
5 years, the Pasadena one, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be going to that again.
Yeah,
wouldn't
Dick
you?
was at Horror Fest in September, and I was there, and he did not look super well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if he
right.
pops up somewhere, it might be good time to try to meet him now.
Yeah, I think I even saw this year his convention circuit appearances were pretty low. Like there wasn't a lot of. By the time I thought to even go look it up.
You've got to admit, he dedicated a lot of years of his life to the fans, and to going out on those on the road at those conventions. He's really put in a lot of time.
And that's why I want to meet him. When we were at the H45 con, we met just about every person I really wanted to meet from the franchise, but him, because his line was always around the corner, even more than Nick Castles or Tommy Lee Wallace. It was everyone wanted Dick Warlock.
Yeah. It's a great name too, isn't it?
Oh God, it was made for film.
I agree.
Ever.
Is there any other creepy listeners out there who haven't chimed in yet? Anybody listening quietly?
Hello.
Who's this?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, sir? Who is this?
My name is Jose.
Hello, Jose.
I have a question in my mind.
Go right ahead.
You know, why didn't you do it tomorrow on actually Halloween big missed opportunity? Do you have a plan?
Well, yeah, well, I have children, and so that is the main reason why I am unavailable to do the live stream on actual Halloween. And we kind of figured that a lot of people have their own plans and just sort of do it the night before so that, you know, maximize the amount of people we talk to.
And I know I haven't had a chance to bring this up yet, but I actually wait tables. And so I will be stuck doing that for approximately 6 or 7 hours tomorrow, while other people are enjoying themselves.
I see. I don't blame you then.
Yeah,
What are you doing for Halloween, Jose?
Oh, nothing major myself. I was just probably gonna go to work and just hang around the house.
What's your favorite?
But yeah, that was the first thing. That was the first thing that came to mind when I saw that the live stream was up. I was like, you guys have an opportunity to do an actual Halloween being Haddonfield Radio and your maybe for Michael Myers and Halloween. So,
I agree with you.
They missed an opportunity right there.
Well, what about this? I'll make it up to you this way. What if we promise we're going to go until at least 12:01 a.m. and then theoretically we will have crossed over into the 31st Eastern Standard Time, which will in fact would be Halloween. Then you, Jose, you can sleep tonight and not have to worry so much about it, Jose.
Oh well, I guess we'll see. We'll bet. I'll see if you guys can do it.
What state are you listening from, Jose?
I'm calling right now from. Let me check Google Maps real quick.
That's scary.
Are you flying?
I'm calling from Torrance, California.
Oh wow! All right, interesting. Very interesting.
I have to ask, why did you have to look at a map to know what state you were in?
I was
going to.
I was looking up the city. I wasn't sure what city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Jose, Jose, I want you right now, here and right now. I think there's a reason you've really called in. Please, right now, I want you to tell us a frickin' secret. Go. Tell us something you've never told anyone.
Something I've never told anyone?
Something you've never told anyone else. Tell us now. Don't think.
I don't
just
know.
do.
This seems like a pretty bad place to tell a secret.
Go ahead. Go ahead now. Let us in on it. What happened? What happened?
I think I'll pass.
Okay.
All right.
To be fair.
Well, fair enough.
And I'll do all the respect.
Thank you. We're just having fun. We're just having fun, Jose. Thank you for calling. We do appreciate it.
Love you, Jose.
Uh,
I wish more people had the guts to call. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember I was here last year, but last year I was too busy and couldn't call in.
Well, I'm glad that you called in.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it this time, and I'm just glad for all of it. What about you?
I'm glad Corey's here.
Yeah, he's loving his ride to work.
I'm playing the Corey right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Another question for you guys?
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead.
Do you guys go to theaters a lot? I don't really go to theaters a whole lot, so I distinctly remember I went this year only for Final Destination Bloodlines, and like 2 years ago I went to see Star Wars, and those are the only 2 times I've been to a theater in recent memory.
Yeah, we don't go as much. We were just saying that earlier.
I know.
We always plan to go, and then we just never drag ourselves there.
It goes back to the darn kids and jobs and stuff. I wish I had more time to get out to movies. I'm really, really bad at it. I see them eventually, but I'm not quick to do it,
Shamefully enough, we should be going to the movies more, considering, we run a podcast about movies. Probably should go check them out once in a while. That might help. Anybody else?
What are some of the movies you guys wanted to see in theaters this year?
Ooh, all right. Is there anything you've wanted to see in theaters this year that you didn't see?
Well, I didn't see.
The only one that really stood out to me was Weapons, but life got in the way and it passed.
So you did see it in the movie theater?
I said I wanted to go see it in theaters, but then life got in the way and the days passed.
I still really want you to tell us a frickin' secret. There's got to be something that you're hiding something. There's a reason you called. You want to get something off your frickin' chest.
Wow.
Jose.
Well, I guess my secret was that I didn't call it last year, so I'm calling it. You happy now?
No,
I
it's
knew
not
it.
that.
I knew it was Jose at the call.
Not that.
I knew it was him.
No.
Leave him alone.
Don't let him off.
wait.
Who's that?
Whoa.
Who's that?
Hey, Corey, I think we need. Can you?
Also, that was also the other thing I wanted to ask about. Like, if you also have any other favorite, like, non-slasher franchises. Since this year I got into the Final Destination series that they're going to see Bloodlines.
I always go to The Notebook in my mind. That's usually the people want to talk favorite movies / favorite books.
That's about that's about a franchise. Like the Final Destination
I'm sorry.
movies or the Saw
Nicholas
movies.
Sparks is not a franchise. Nicholas Sparks is a franchise. Very successful author.
My bad.
Oh,
Have you
boy.
seen The Notebook? Have you read The Notebook? James
No, I
Garner.
haven't.
You
Because,
realize we're gonna
I'm a
have to
man.
do a bonus episode now of the Notebook. You've brought it up
I want to
so
give it an
much.
episode.
Oh, well, I guess I'll find out about the Notebook if you guys do that
Yeah,
episode.
you just keep watching our channel because there's going to be a very special episode coming, I think.
Jose, before you go, let me just ask you one quick thing. Will you please tell us a goddamn secret? Please? Because I've about fucking had it with you. Now, tell us a secret. Or I'm not taking this podcast till 12:01 a.m., you prick. You want a Halloween podcast, 12:01. Give me a secret.
$1 million.
Wow, all right. That was a good impression.
That's it. We don't need Fanta.
I definitely need Fanta. Fanta, the chosen soda of serial mass murderers everywhere. Thank you, Fanta.
It's been a long while since I drank a Fanta, actually.
Really?
It's not Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been a while for me. I've been sucking them down left and right.
Is there anybody on the line with us that we haven't talked to? I hear a few voices. I'm not sure if we.
Something tells me Jose is going to chime in again, but go ahead.
Is there anybody else out there?
Hello?
I'm still here. Hello?
Hello, who's this?
This is Corey Bird.
We got
The
Corey.
one and only.
We got Corey. We got Jose.
Anyone else?
Is it still Stephanie? Is that the female voice I'm hearing? This is like a game.
I feel like we're
this way. Damn this computer. Darn it. And I was over here saying how you used to call me the master of all things electronically
This is
motivated.
great. I don't know what you're talking about. We're having a blast.
I can't see who anybody is.
We can't see anybody at all. It's phone calls. Nobody's seeing anybody. What do you think you're missing?
Wow.
I can barely see you. I've had so much Fanta.
That's the soda, yeah. Anyway. Corey, what's your suggestion for season 4 for us?
Ooh, you know what, Joe? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I was going to hit you guys up one day and ask you, would you do like all the episodes of Hellraiser? I would like to see that.
I would love to cover the Hellraiser movies for sure. I like that franchise because you got some really big bangers and then some misses. But they're all kind of interesting, and they all have a lot of interesting, creative people attached to them. So definitely a good suggestion.
It's a very thick world to explore.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
You know.
Yes.
I want to get back. Remember I was having that exciting moment earlier?
With Jose?
No, previous to Jose's lack of a frickin' secret. I was saying I was having a spontaneous, exciting moment. I wanted to make an announcement. What do you think if we were to right here and now on the party line?
I curbed you off. I'm doing it again because I'm so afraid of what you're going to suggest.
If we announce right here on the party line, right here, it is
Well, you're doing it.
11:17
You're doing
p.m.
it.
Eastern time. No, I'm saying should we?
Okay.
What if we were to announce what the season finale is going to be?
Oh, our season 3 finale.
Yeah.
That will be airing.
That we
in
said was a surprise.
about
You want
2
to announce
weeks.
it now?
Yeah, I think a lot of people might have a
Do
good
it.
guess,
Yeah,
but
most people probably already know what it is. But
Yeah.
We are episode 34, our season 3 finale, premiering November 13th, will be the history, legacy, and lore of Never Hike Alone. And Never Hike Alone 2 with a special guest, Vincent DeSanti
Yes,
joining us.
Director,
Yeah.
writer. You know, it's like we were talking about earlier. You know, it's no small feat to have a fan film made.
Yeah.
And to get the type of attention and love that he has gotten for his, you can't really seriously have a conversation about the Friday the 13th franchise, and not at least bring it up and not give it a little.
I mean, I personally think,
love, you know?
and I've said this all through season 3, and I'll say it again, and I'm sure I'll say it again in the next episode. Not only do I think Never Hike Alone is one of the greatest fan films ever made, period.
Yeah.
I think it is the greatest horror fan film ever made. And I personally think the fans should band together around the idea that this should be canonically accepted. I think Ghost Jason should be an official incarnation of Jason Voorhees. I think Never Hike Alone should be canonically connected officially to the Friday the 13th. That's why we decided to not do it as a bonus episode, but we're giving it an episode number.
Yeah.
Because in our world here at Haddonfield Radio, this is canonically connected to the franchise.
I mean, you've got the guy who played Tommy Jarvis.
Yep.
He finds a way to bring this guy back, and he does it well.
They're great. They're incredible films.
If nothing else, I feel like they should have earned Vincent
DeSanti.
The DeSanti. I didn't forget his name. I was just trying to use his first.
You,
okay.
yeah.
But he should at least. They should give him a shot somewhere in the franchise, an episode of the TV series, or a chance to second unit direct or something. I feel like he's proven himself a little bit, and they should show him a little love.
But you know what? He's sort of carved out a nice little niche all for himself that he controls.
I think what I'm saying is I would love to see that the franchise actually just acknowledge him.
Yes.
In some way, you know what I mean?
I just want to say hello to Byron Weaver. He's saying some really nice things in chat about Halloween Aftermath, deservedly so. It takes so much to make a film. To actually create an idea, make a film out of it, release it, and find an audience is incredible.
Well, and on top of it, one thing that they did do that was very clever with Halloween Aftermath was find a way to give us Michael Myers again. You know what I mean?
Great.
To find just some little nugget in there to explore and keep that story going and have it be actual Michael and not, I was almost worried because it's called Aftermath that it was somebody getting the mask and kind of continuing it, the evil, and they were going to try and do their own thing. But no, that was clever.
Jesus, Corey, where the hell do you work? Hawaii? This is a long commute. This is a hell of a commute.
He's a big rig driver.
Christ. Long hauling it here. Listening to Art Bell through the night. Christ. I'm sorry. I love you.
Hey, but you know what?
You're a good
When I
sport.
got my favorite show that I'm listening to, it just makes my ride 10 times better.
I love that. We love
There
you.
you go.
And we're glad. Who's that? Who just said amen? Who's that?
Oh, we heard you.
Yeah, there's somebody peeping around and creeping around doing the creep right now. There's someone creeping around.
Corey, do us a favor, Corey. You don't have to hang up, but mute. Can you mute your phone for a second so we can hear?
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right.
Now that he's gone.
Now, who else is on the line here with us?
Who's that?
I'm still here.
Is this still Jose?
Yes, this is me.
Okay, for crying out loud, would you give me a secret? You desperately want to give me a secret, or you wouldn't keep piping up. Just tell me the frickin' secret. I have to sleep tonight. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight, Jose. Please, don't make me say no way, Jose.
Jose, you have become the best part of this live stream. You
Say
are the
yes
best
way, Jose.
part.
Say a secret. Tell me something lurid that you did to someone someday.
Please, Jose, make up something.
Just say something that happened to you when you were a teenager that's an uncomfortable little nugget of your past that you want to share to complete strangers.
Is there something you would like to maybe share?
I'll trade a secret, but I'm not giving one for fucking free.
You seem like there might be something on your mind.
I want a secret. I want a frickin' secret. That's the secret.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's
I kind of miss
Well,
Corey now.
well, if I tell you, it's not a secret anymore. So.
Oh, well, good.
Damn, you got touche.
Wow,
you got me on that
one.
one.
Got you there. Now, there's an idea. There's like a good, like a horror movie, right? A killer takes somebody and just demands secrets.
Tell me your secret. or I'm going to poke you with
It's
something.
probably been done somehow.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Well,
That
it-
seems
like I know what you did last
seems
summer.
sort of like uncharted territory there to me. Is
I
that a
don't
term,
know.
uncharted territory? That doesn't sound right. As it came out, it sounded like a stumble.
This interview with Jose is definitely uncharted territory.
Jose.
So have you guys actually thought about what you're gonna do for season 4 since you brought that up earlier?
Yeah, we do. We've decided, and we're going to announce it on our next live stream, which will be our holiday live stream around the end of December.
Yeah, we haven't picked an exact date, but it'll be December, sometime usually between Christmas and New Year's.
And if you don't tell me a secret, I will not let you listen to season 4. Period. You will not be allowed.
Well, exciting stuff. Well, personally, I'd want like maybe like I know that I'm biased here, but I think I want like a Saw season, the Saw movies for season 4, since I got into that franchise recently.
I love that. That's a great idea. There's like a lot of them. They're all interesting. I really like that. I have a lot of respect for James Wan. Actually, a lot of respect for James Wan. I think that's a really good idea. Really good idea.
That franchise is one of the more modern ones that really. Yeah, I squirm. I mean, like I both love all the different contraptions that you get, but man, does that make me
I love the
squirm.
traps and how complicated they can get, and also getting into Jigsaw's ideology and all that stuff.
Yes. I mean, and you know the filmmaking. I'm not saying every single one, but they actually. Slightly elevate the game at times for horror movies with the way they have to keep that story, interesting. But the Saw franchise is a solid contender for some serious breakdowns someday.
Oh, absolutely. I could definitely at least see like a Trailer Park episode doing all the Saw movies, because I like the Saw films, and I think there's actually still a lot of room to sort of reinvent Saw. And I sort of hope they will.
Its basic premise, is something that can kind of continue on.
James Wan, man, God damn, that guy is unreal, actually. I think he's one of the best editors in the history of horror. Like, his editorial sense as a director, the way his precision with jump scares and with kind of creeping building intensity is really almost unparalleled in my mind nowadays in a contemporary sense. He's definitely, in my mind, a master of horror for sure. What about the Guillermo del Toro?
I think I mentioned it earlier. But Saw X was one of the few movies that actually got me to go to the theaters. So that's how hyped I am about the Saw franchise.
I love that.
Was that the last one they made? Saw X?
I don't know. There might have been another one after that.
Okay.
I think. Might have been even
Oh,
two.
no, that was the most recent one. It was
okay.
2023, I believe.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Nice. Well, Jose, since you won't share a frickin' lurid secret, we're going to have to say a frickin' do to you. No, we won't. I'm just kidding. You can stay if you want.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any idea how we're going to actually end the live stream, so we'll have to. This is going to be interesting.
We may not end the live stream. We'll just go to bed right here. Just conk out. I do have to take my NyQuil soon. I've been taking my DayQuil. Now it's time for NyQuil.
Season 4, like we said, will be announced soon. I've been getting some small pieces of art already from Mike Hatfield, getting ready for it.
Guy's a machine.
He knows what we're doing. Oh man, and it's what we're doing is a franchise that I've probably know the least out of all the kind of those major horror franchises everyone knows. So I'm really excited to dive in past the original that everybody knows. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I will say that I've already been doing a lot of like outlining and researching and pulling some ideas for some like intro stories for season 4 based on what we've chosen, and I am so freaking overwhelmed with excitement to be. And I will say that the stuff that I've been working on for season 4, just in the preliminary stages, I'm so freaking excited about. If you guys liked season 3 and have enjoyed it and enjoyed some of the new features of season 3 and some of the kind of the more like sprawling nature of season 3, I'm telling you, I think Joe, I can speak for Joe too, we're going to try to just blow your minds with season 4. Our goal is really to just keep cranking it up and trying to create something that is as good as something you guys deserve. That's how the best way I can put it. We're trying to put our best effort forth because that you deserve no less than that. Being as faithful and lovely as you guys have all been to us. Like, we joke around and we're having fun here, but honestly, I want to just quickly go back to that for a second and just make sure so I don't feel like I undercut it. We appreciate you guys so much. And having a chance like this to spend a few hours together and have some laughs like this, I mean, this is the best I've felt in days. Like, I have been feeling so sick, and I just got so energized from
Jose.
having this time, and especially from Jose, that prick. I've been so energized by
Hey, I heard that.
Oh, Jose!
He's still there.
What the? Tell me a secret, you bastard.
I heard that.
No, I'm kidding. You know I love you, buddy. You're gonna, you know what? I think you're gonna be the new
I heard it too.
co-host for season 4, Jose.
Wait,
what do you
what?
think?
What? No, it's pronounced,
Oh, well, I
it's
guess
pronounced
we'll find
Joe.
out. And, if it's always been chosen for season 4, it's always going to be season 5, right?
Exactly.
I'll say
I hope
this.
so.
I'll say this, too.
Oh.
In my mind, I'll give you this little nugget here, a little hint. In my mind, the way I'm envisioning it, I almost see season 4 in a way like our own prequel. Like a prequel season in a way. It's the 4th season, but there's stuff in the genetics of this franchise that we're going to be covering that really kind of goes all the way back to the beginning, really, of this whole subgenre, really of horrors, right back to the early roots of horror. There's a lot of the genetics of this franchise we're going to be covering. I'm very excited. And it's another franchise like the Friday the 13th films that I don't know as well as the Halloween films or the Nightmare on Elm Street films. So much like the Friday, I don't mean I don't know them, of course I do, but like getting back into this particular franchise and deep diving and researching, it's already been a lot of fun. So
Looking at it with new eyes.
I'm praying that you guys, especially a lot of you guys that kind of came to Haddonfield Radio for Friday the 13th, really, we're just praying that you guys will continue along the road with us into season 4 and give it a shot. Because we're really going to be coming out swinging with season 4 and trying to really top anything we've done in the past. So, yeah, right?
Yep. And there'll be, I think we've mentioned some bonus episodes between the seasons. So we're never like totally going to be going away.
We've got a
but there'll be a
doozy.
little bit of a break between the seasons.
We've got a
Working
doozy
on
of a
one big
bonus
one.
episode.
Working
that
on a big one.
I'm going to tell you guys now, like horror fans, I'm telling you right now, we've got a doozy of a bonus episode. You guys, I think a lot of you out there will be really, really psyched with this episode.
That one I would say slated for like January.
Yeah. I'm super excited about recording that particular bonus episode. I can't wait to share with you guys. And maybe maybe the holiday episode, maybe we'll share that. Who knows? We'll see.
With tomorrow being Halloween, Christian.
Yeah.
Do you remember growing up? Do you have a favorite Halloween costume? Is there any Halloween of yours stands out in your mind that you remember going out and totally just destroying it out there trick-or-treating?
I know I have a vivid memory of an Incredible Hulk costume that was off like a CVS rack.
Like the Ben Cooper ones you'd get in the boxes.
Remember those vintage ones?
Yeah.
And like the plastic mask had the little like circle like a necklace would have on the top of like the print the way it was probably formed.
Yeah.
It was the ones where you get the mask and then you get the plastic pants and the plastic
It'd
shirt.
always be ripped up by the end of the night trick-or-treating. Yeah.
And it's like the same material as the bag, as your trick-or-treat bag,
just these
right?
vinyl
Yeah.
things.
Do you remember those?
Oh, that was one of my best childhood memories, was seeing those.
What about you? You must have some real costumes.
It was the same. My Superman, my Ben Cooper Superman costume.
What's Ben Cooper?
That's the company who made those particular types of costumes that we all remember from like the late 70s, early 80s. All the superheroes in the movies where you'd get the plastic mask, just the front with the elastic band, and then the vinyl suits that you would tie around the back. And I had the Superman one, and I remember just walking around feeling like $1 million. But then, I get home at the end of the night, and you realize your ass is hanging out, the whole back of it's ripped open, and like it was in shambles, and it was so sad, but also like it was just one of those crazy fun memories was being Superman.
You know, I have another very vivid memory. It's like really hitting me right now. It wasn't Halloween. It may have actually been Halloween, but when I was a very little boy, like I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5, I went along on a cruise with my parents. Okay, I think I was the only child at that point. My brother or sister weren't here yet, as far as I remember. And it might have been at Halloween time because there was some sort of costume ball, and my mother dressed me up like a Sleestack from Land of the Lost.
Oh, wow. Did she make it?
She made it.
Yeah.
And it was like, basically, I remember it was like a little zipper up hoodie sweatshirt, and she put a lipstick underneath it so it looked like the point going up, and she did something with the blacking out of my eyes. And I have this vivid memory of a man in like a devil costume, like pointing his pitchfork down at me, like, and I remember on that cruise ship, there was like a souvenir shop, and I got this bendy Tom and Jerry Tom figure. So I know I was carrying it around at that costume ball thing, but I was dressed as a Sleestack, and I don't have a ton of vivid memories of my early childhood, honestly, but I think I've overwritten most of them with all this junk I have floating around in my head. But I do have vivid memories of that.
Did you ever use your pillowcase to get candy, or did you always have a candy bag?
Oh, pillowcase, absolutely.
Yeah,
or we would get the plastic pumpkin with
right,
the little
right.
black.
I just I recently talked
plastic
to somebody
handle.
and mentioned using the pillowcase, and they're like, "What?
Oh
the hell?"
no, we always
And I was
did
like,
pillowcase.
I remember I used my Empire Strikes Back
Well,
pillowcase.
was always the best idea because it
huge.
was twice the size of a regular
Yeah,
bag.
it was huge.
So you were going to get way more.
Yeah.
You had to do pillowcase.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially when you're that size. The pillowcase is like half the size of your body. It's like a perfect size.
Did you ever have neighbors? Do you remember ever trick or treating and having neighbors that would actually scare the crap out of you?
Oh God, yeah. My mother and my aunt, they used to do and my grandfather used to do a very elaborate thing. So when the trick or treaters would come up to the house on Carl Road where I grew up, this haunted house I grew up in. Someday, guys, I'm going to tell you some banger stories about growing up in a crazy haunted house.
Jesus.
But they set it up so like we had this rope swing, and my aunt was like dressed as a witch, and as the kids would come up this long driveway, she would come swinging out over them like like a witch. And
that's crazy.
And my grandfather would like pretend to be like sitting on the porch like you think he was stuffed, and of course he'd jump and move. Or he would be like Frankenstein out in the shed. I have a lot of great Halloween memories, man. A lot of really happy, lyrical, idyllic Halloween memories that I can remember as a child. I remember having to be told at a certain age, no, you're done trick or treating. Like, wait, what? No, you're in 6th grade now. You can we'll find something else to do.
I do look
but
at
you're not
the kids who come to my door and they're like not really dressed up. They're like 14 and they're just running around with their pillowcase.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not even trying, kid. But anyway.
No, got to do the pillowcase. I hope you guys all are going to have the best Halloween. And I hope you guys have, and I'm not saying like this is the end or anything. I'm just saying like I hope you guys have been having a good time here tonight celebrating Halloween a little early. I know Jose's frickin' pissed because it's not actually Halloween, even though we already proved that we had a chatter from New Zealand where it is Halloween.
I just saw Mike Hatfield was mentioning NECA, and I just got this the other day. I wanted to bring up. I got the new NECA Art the Clown figure. I haven't even really opened
look
it
at
up
all the
yet.
look
Just
at all
came
the
in. Lots of
accoutrement
accessories,
it comes with.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Can
Really
I see
cool.
it real quick?
Yeah,
Look at
definitely.
it.
Yeah.
What is this? The Terrifier 3 or 2 or 1? Oh, look at this.
I think it's mainly
it's just Terrifier.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
Art the Clown.
Yep, exactly.
Man,
Yeah.
look at the baby.
I know, huh?
It's incredible.
I like the NECA figures.
Yeah.
They're decent for their price point, and this just came out. I was really excited when
Talk
it came
about
in.
an incredible movie theater experience. How about Terrifier 3 when we
my
went?
God.
And we went at like noon on like a Monday.
I just watched it again. My 28-year-old daughter, who's a huge horror freak, she loves this stuff. She hadn't seen it. She was waiting for me to watch it, which is weird. Like I kept saying, "Are you sure?" Like this one's over the top, and like I don't know. There's some weird. It was for my daughter anyway.
Yeah.
It was, and she's like, "No, yeah, I want to watch it with you." I'm like, "All right." So we watched it, and she usually like just can take anything, and this was the first time I saw like the pillow up and just.
I love that you're watching a movie with your daughter where somebody takes a chainsaw up the anus.
Yeah, that was the whole locker room, the whole shower stall thing. The dude getting it, and
that incredible now iconic white chainsaw that I think is a reference to something else. Might have been Pieces, the movie Pieces. That white
really?
chainsaw.
I just
could be
assumed
wrong
that
about
Texas
that. I could be
chainsaw-
way wrong
Yeah,
about
okay.
that. I might be wrong about that.
But yeah, that was interesting watching it with her. I also saw on sort of a kind of, I won't say it's a throwaway movie because I kind of enjoyed it. Just don't expect much. Was the Clown in a Cornfield?
Yeah, I finally did get around to watching
You
that.
know?
I was really impressed, and then I realized it's David Slade who directed that, who's made all sorts of really great genre films over the years. Really
Yeah,
good.
I was surprised. Again, it
It's
was
like
my
tween
daughter was
horror.
like, "Hey, watch this with me." I was like, "All right, whatever." And all of a sudden, I'm like,
It's fun.
"Hey, wow!"
It made me want to get that original. I think his name is Adam Caesar or Adam Cesare or something, who wrote those original books.
Okay.
I
I
think
didn't
there's
realize
like
it was even
3
based on
books
that.
in the clowns. Like the first one, Clown in a Cornfield. Then it's like Friendo Lives, and then it's like Cult of Friendo.
Yeah.
So I've kind of, and they're in the like YA section at Barnes and Noble, but I've
They
always
kind of
kind of
condense it all for the movie.
I wanted to kind of check those books out because I know that they've got a lot of a big fan base. I don't know if you guys know this, but of all my passions in the world, my passion above all other passions is books.
Oh my!
And I mean books and comic books, but generally books.
Yeah.
And every week since I was a child, and up to literally just a couple days ago, every week, at least once a week, my mom and I, we go down to the bookstore together. And whatever book I pick out, my mom's like, takes it away and I'll buy it for you. And I say, no, I'll pay. No, I'll pay. And it's like our little ritual, our little routine. But we've been doing this together forever. My mother really raised me with a love of books, a love of art. My mom herself is a really amazing
she's
artist.
a great artist. Yeah.
And she had all these vinyl albums, like I remember the Robert Crumb Big Brother and the Holding Company album cover. I used to like stare at as a little kid. I didn't understand it contextually, but I was hypnotized by it. And then she had all these like little like 1980s and 1990s paperbacks that were like all like the Stephen King paperbacks, like what is it, Skeleton Crew with the little toy on its cover, the monkey. But that's really where where I am right now, sitting in this basement creating this show with Joe. All my creativity was born from those bookshelves and record boxes of my mother's. And my mother fostered in me this love and this respect for books and for reading. And I've been a reader, like a devoted reader all my life. I don't know what I'd do without books. But I don't know, just wanted to share that. Just wanted to share.
You are literally the most literate person I probably know.
All right, give me a damn kiss.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Give me one. No, really.
Okay, guys. Click. No.
I'm getting
anyway,
loopy on these fantasies. So is Joe, apparently.
Are we making it here till midnight? I didn't think we were even going this late.
We got 21 minutes left.
What else
Wow.
you got in here?
Can we fill it?
I don't know. I think it's almost time to wrap it up here.
Let's see what else I've
is
got.
Jose still on the line?
Jose? No, we lost him.
So we lost him.
Yeah.
If once you lose Jose, you know the show's over.
Freaking lost him.
He would not give us a damn secret.
I still find it incredibly
Because
interesting
they can call back. But.
that he did not know what state he was in. There he is, Jose. There he is. You son of a bitch! I knew I could draw you back out. I knew it.
Do you think Jose might be disposing of a body as we speak, which is why he was like, I gotta check the map here. I'm out in the middle of the desert in California. I'm just saying,
Let me check. Oh my God, it's all kind of making sense.
What make and model car are you driving?
You know what's
right
weird? 3 seasons from now, we're going to be starting the premiere episode
now?
with
Can
the
you
true
believe-
crime story of Jose.
Can you believe we talked to that serial killer
We'll
while
be telling
he was
the
in the
story
middle
of Jose. No wonder he couldn't tell us a frickin' secret. He's a frickin' he's the grim sleeper. He's a serial killer.
Maybe
He's
your
Jose the Ripper.
Intros for season 4 should all be like fictional, and you got to write the story of Jose.
I love this.
On his way to Torres, California, with the body wrapped up in the back.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's what the female voice was we heard briefly.
Oh my God. It came from the trunk.
We didn't hear her. She was like, we heard like amen, and it was like she was like praying for her life.
How freaking stupid am I? The whole time I'm begging him to tell a secret, and he's laughing because he's like, this is the secret.
He's like, you guys don't get it.
I'm carrying a body into the deep California nighttime desert while listening to your ridiculous live stream.
I bet he was with Corey Bird. We heard the car sounds coming from Corey Bird. I bet they were traveling
Oh my God.
together.
Corey Bird didn't mute his phone. Jose killed him.
We didn't realize they were in the same car together the whole time.
No, I love it.
Laughing maniacally.
I'll tell you, when I'm watching this live stream 7 years from now to remember the quote-unquote good old days, I'm going to be thanking you for this moment and these moments we've had together on the air today, Jose. Can you please tell me a frickin' secret? There's got to be one real secret that you can tell us.
Yes, because I want to hear this secret also.
Go, Jose. Do it. Just be brave.
Corey, did you get to work?
Yeah.
It's quiet now.
No, actually, I just wanted to. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I just want to let you know that I did make it home safely from work.
Oh, I thought you were going to work.
I
Okay,
gotcha.
good. Thank
I'm
you,
just
Corey.
glad you're not bleeding out in a ditch
So,
next to Jose.
I will not be responsible for a listener's death. I will
that
not.
Would be we'd go viral, I think. Though.
He might have been laughing too hard at Jose and then run off the road, but you know. Anyway, thank Corey.
we
thank
love
you.
you. Thank you,
Corey. We love you so much.
I love you guys too, and I hope you have a great Halloween, and I hope you guys have a great, blessed night.
You too, brother.
Thank you.
We love you so much. We'll talk to you the next time we're live. We'll talk to you then.
Exactly.
Looking forward to it, brother.
You got it. We are too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.
All right. Well, that's it.
Well, so our next thing we have coming out for everyone will be November 14th with our final season 3 episode, interview with Vincent DeSanti, and we'll be watching and reviewing both of his Hike Alone films.
Commentaries for them. We're gonna have
He
a
just
blast.
sent me his whole electronic press junket kit and everything for it. There's a lot of cool stuff to check out. And I can't wait to just talk to him about it.
Ever since we figured that we would do this, it's become like the episode I was the most excited to get to in a way.
Yeah. No,
just to give those films the love that they deserve.
Yeah.
And they've earned.
Well, that's what I keep picturing. Like, as guys who've made independent small films, like, I love that there's somebody who's done it in a successful level, and anything we can do to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know
really
this is his busy time when he gets interviewed by everybody, but we had to do it
we're
too.
really, really thankful and lucky that he's putting some time aside that day we're recording to join us and share some of his stories and insights and his connections to. I have so many things that I'm already thinking that I want to talk to him about and ask him about, and it's going to be a really interesting conversation. And Joe and I are going to try to purposefully cover some ground with Vin that maybe you don't see covered as much.
Yeah, not the usual
so that maybe there's some, we can get some more of the information about the making these films out in a public venue somewhere where it belongs. So and then we're going to be doing commentaries for the first 2 of those films. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Bryce was asking when the next live stream is. So the next live stream will be in the end of December.
Yep.
But
Our
the next
Happy Horror Days Volume 3.
Yep. But the next regular episode will be November 13th.
Yeah.
And we can't wait. So
I
there's
just
always
wanna
something
say,
else coming up around the corner.
I think this
for us.
is my favorite live stream we've done, and mainly because of the amazingly fun time we spent talking to everyone live. Like,
I was gonna say having some extra guests and then having the calls.
I could just talk to our listeners for hours and not get bored. I just enjoy it. I haven't laughed that hard in a while. The last few days I've just been feeling like shit. So I really, you guys, honestly, I really mean it. You guys have thoroughly energized me tonight. I feel so much better thanks to you guys, and I really sincerely mean that. And I just can't believe we're already wrapping up season 3. It's actually weird.
Oh, well, Mike Hatfield, he's on the case. He said he just heard news that there's some sort of incident at Smith's Grove. Apparently the patients have escaped.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so, I don't think anything good can come of that.
No.
And that's good stuff. Listen, I hope you all are going to have a wonderful Halloween tomorrow.
And a safe Halloween,
too.
the
usual things. Be safe.
And
Don't
enjoy
do
your
anything
time
stupid.
with your friends and your families. And
Yep.
just please know how much Joe and I truly appreciate you guys, and truly, truly, sincerely appreciate your support and your kindness, generosity, knowledge, and love. And we promise we're going to just keep doing the best job that we can to get you guys some fun entertainment and, something just comforting and happy. That's all we're trying to do. So, right?
Keep hanging out in the basement, and hopefully you guys join us.
Please continue on with us into season 4. I promise you. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee that. Right?
Okay. Yeah. That's all I got. This
Anything
was a fun
else
night.
you want to say? Anything
No,
else?
this was fun. This was fun. I might want to have a good night tomorrow.
This is like the best Halloween party I've ever been to. Earlier you were asking about Halloween memories I love. This is now a Halloween memory that I love.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the cap I'm going to put on.
And into any local law enforcement agencies, maybe out in California, you just might want to check out Drive around Torres.
We've got a
all
really
I'm
good
saying.
piece of information.
You
His name is Jose. That's like a perfect nugget of detail. Just look for the guy named Jose out in California. I guarantee there can't be more than 3, I would guess, liberally, right?
not
Always willing to help.
Not more than 3 with a
The
body.
boys in blue.
And
Boys
listening
in
to
blue.
us.
We love you. No, seriously, all over the world. Even if you're listening to this days from now, our listeners in the future, we love you.
And really quickly, thank you to our guests, Davey Deathray,
Yes.
Matt from Nephew FXX for doing
Hold on,
my
hold on.
mask. Thank you so much. Yep. And
This one's really cool too. Look at this one.
I know that's great. The homage to the original Kirk mask.
Look, I can
It's
make it
awesome.
look like I'm Michael
You know,
Myers.
I-
Look, you're sitting next to Michael Myers.
I feel like an idiot when we were talking to him twice during when it took 2 times of him saying Kirk when he's talking about the hair before I realized he was talking about the Captain Kirk mask.
What Kirk would he have been speaking
I don't
of?
know. That's why I felt
Is
like an
there
idiot.
another Kirk attached to
I
Michael
just wasn't even
Myers?
thinking a
Oh.
person. I thought it's Kirk a color.
Well, you're doing your
I don't
buttons and
know.
your wires.
I
You
know.
got a lot going on here.
I figured it out
Rumbling
eventually.
around in your
Anyway.
brain. No, you did fine. It was great. I love that. I love that whole conversation. It was actually very informative. Matt
Well,
is a very well-spoken
It's something I've
person.
wanted to get into for a long time. I'm glad I finally
I'm
we
not a
did it.
well-spoken person.
And he came in and joined us and to talk about it, and he took photos.
That's
for
really,
me.
I thought it was actually really interesting. I got a lot out of that.
I mean, look at that mask.
It's incredible. And that popcorn bucket is banging too,
It
by
is
the
cool.
way.
Yes.
But anyway, we love you guys. We wish we could just go on and on forever. But thank you so much for joining us.
Tangents.
We'll see you, I guess, on the 13th of November with
Yes, there'll
the
be a new episode
history,
dropping.
legacy, and lore of Never Hike Alone. So join us for that. It's going to be a lot of fun wrapping up season 3. We love you guys, right?
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. Have a very
Happy
Halloween
Halloween.
sneak.
Oh,
We love you. We love you, you little church mouse, wherever you are. We love you with all our heart.
Little minxie
And I
minx.
want to say
Okay.
a very special hello to someone.
Oh boy.
Spooky Movie Gal. I just want to say hello
yes.
to you. We love you.
And this spooky Halloween gal.
That's another
who was
one.
just sent
Spooky
us.
Movie Fan was her
That's
name.
what it was. Yes.
Spooky Movie Fan.
And spooky Halloween gal sent us a
Yes.
Halloween card that we
We
just
love
got.
you.
So thank you for that.
Spooky Movie Fan, we absolutely adore you. Thank you so much for being such a faithful listener. It really means the world to us. Thank you, everyone who's taken time to listen to this. and hang
Haddonfield
out.
High, Punky Stardust, Bryce, thank you.
Everybody. Davey.
Woke Nightmare,
Cool
Sandy.
username.
Everybody. You're all wonderful.
Bryce, we love you, Bryce.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We'll see you guys next time. We'll be back soon. We
Okay.
love you guys. See you in the next live.
Good night. Bye.